The Smoky Mountain Conference, one of North Carolina's oldest and most storied athletic conferences, producing champions on and off the playing field for decades. The Smoky Mountain Conference. Tradition lives here.
Yes, it does. And here is live at Hayesville High School, here, home of the Yellow Jackets, as our Maroon Devils are on the road for the final week of this 2019 regular season. Hi, everybody. Gary Ayers along with Toby Burrell tonight on a really chilly Friday night at Hayesville High School. It's senior night, and they have senior activities going on here tonight. And if you're just tuning in on WBHN on 94.1 FM and 1590 AM, we want to pass on that this is audio only tonight. No video allowed tonight by ruling from Hayesville High School, kind of like we were at Robbinsville. Yes, so we're going to be audio only tonight. It's a cold night. Not a whole lot of Maroon Devil fans on hand here tonight at Hayesville, but this is a very important game. I've heard people say this, Toby, and they're not getting the point at all. They say, oh, this game doesn't matter. It's Hayesville. Back the truck up, people. Hayesville is coming in right now 7-3 overall, 3-2 overall. Well, guess what? Our Maroon Devils are 8-2 overall, 3-2 in the Smoky Mountain Conference. So we are tied, literally, for third place in the Smoky Mountain Conference, both with 3-2 records. So obviously, tonight is a huge game because the winner is going to be number 3 and the loser is going to be number 4.
And, Gary, it really means a whole lot more in the big 1A to Swain than it does in the little 1A to Hayesville. So there's a bullseye on the Maroon Devils back tonight, and it's a huge game as far as they're concerned. But on the flip side of that, though, Gary, this Jacket squad is in the middle of a culture change over here under Chad McClure, and they're doing a tremendous job, and what they need is a marquee win. They need a win against one of the big 3, as they call them, Swain, Murphy, or Robbinsville, to kind of put their program where they want it to be in that same breath as the big 3. And that's what they're looking for tonight. They know going into the playoffs that they're going to be in it. And in all likelihood, win or lose, Hayesville's probably going to be at home next week in the first round of the small 1A. So that'll be a big first for them, too. So they'll continue building those milestones towards that, and nothing would be better tonight than for them to get that marquee win against the Maroon Devils.
Oh, absolutely. As this is, as you mentioned, a game against the Big 3. We had a good chance to talk with our great friend, Frank Leatherwood, one of the coaches here at Hayesville High School, a longtime friend. And he was talking about that, changing that mindset, changing that culture, and winning against one of the Big 3. And tonight is that perfect opportunity. And I have a feeling, knowing the coaching of one Frank Leatherwood and one Chad McClure, along with the rest of their staff, they're doing a pretty good job getting that culture changed.
And the Maroon Devils need to have a long memory, because it was last year at Swain County Memorial that they pulled out a 21-20 victory in the final game of the season against this Yellow Jacket squad, and it took, if I'm not mistaken, a blocked field goal or extra point as time expired for the Maroon Devils to come away with that win. So the Jackets were right on the doorstep last year. I'm sure they're much better in year 2 under Chad McClure, and they've proven that all season long. Their losses coming to Tellico Plains early in the season, and they finish a 4-1 non-conference schedule, and then open, Gary, with Robbinsville in conference play, and then follow that with Murphy. So the Jackets with a really tough beginning to their conference schedule with those 2 right off the bat. They, of course, lost both of those, but they have since won 3 in a row, defeating Andrews, Cherokee, and Rosman, and now cruise into this, as you alluded to, tied for 3rd in the Smoky Mountain Conference with the Maroon Devils.
It's a huge game for both teams coming in. As you mentioned, Toby, their 7 wins, actually the most since 2007. So this is a marquee season here at Hayesville High School, and you're so right. Last year at Swain County Memorial Stadium, a 21-20 Maroon Devil win. It was just that tight. And we'll see how that goes here tonight. Is it going to be another close game? Will our Maroon Devils get the job done here tonight and try to set the tone, getting ready for playoffs coming up next week? So I think a good win, playing a good football game, getting ready for the playoffs is just a good way to start.
Well, and let's be honest, Gary, I don't think that last week's win against the Gladiators fully told us whether this Maroon Devil squad is back from the back-to-back losses or not. And so tonight is going to be the telltale sign of that, how they come out, how they start, how they respond when they get punched in the mouth, because that's going to happen, and it's going to happen in a good football game like this. So how are they going to respond to that? We didn't get to see that last week against the Gladiators, so it'll be a big test for this Maroon Devil squad, and it'll say a lot about how the season's going to go.
Oh, I think you're 100% on the money on that, Toby. And again, we're grateful to have WBHN. I understand Andy Rogers is back at the studio running the controls tonight, as we are audio only. So we appreciate our folks online at Maroon Devils Network and, of course, at WBHN. So glad to have you listening in, as you won't be able to watch tonight. But, of course, Joe Holt is here with the camera. And as a matter of fact, I saw Taylor Holt online today talking about getting ready for potential Christmas gifts and that package of Maroon Devil football games.
Oh, it makes a great gift for Christmas under the tree. Can you imagine that? All of the Maroon Devils games this year in glowing Blu-ray for you to sit back and watch on a cold, snowy evening, which may be Tuesday, by the way, from what they're saying. But that's a little early. We won't have our package done by then, but when our season's over, we'll get that turned around real quickly. But you can go ahead and reserve yours now, and it's a great idea to do so if you're going to do it for a Christmas gift.
Yeah, and it's only $30, I think I saw.
Yep.
And that includes the playoff games, and we hope there are several of those coming up down the road. Fans, stay tuned. We'll continue live from Hayesville High School. After this 2-minute timeout, we're going to send it back to the studio, and we'll be right back here on the Maroon Devils Network.
This is Taylor Holt with the Maroon Devils Network. I've got some important information for you guys, so listen up. It is time to pre-order your very own DVD or Blu-ray box set of the 2019 Maroon Devil varsity football season. This action-packed set will include every regular season game, all postseason games, plus a specially edited game highlights program. You can choose either DVDs or Blu-ray discs for the same low price of just $30 per set. Go to www.maroondevils.com and click Store to place your order. Get all of the action and excitement of the 2019 varsity football season to enjoy in the comfort of your own home for years to come. So what are you waiting for? Go now. Go to www.maroondevils.com to get your own piece of Maroon Devil history. I'm Taylor Holt with the Maroon Devils Network. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. And if you enjoy our videos, please hit the notification bell down below so you can get a notification every time that we upload a video.
Fans, welcome back as we continue from Hayesville High School here tonight. As Toby mentioned, Hayesville started off the conference season right out of the gate with a couple of tough losses to Robbinsville and Murphy, 55-10 in the Robbinsville game and 62-14 to the Murphy Bulldogs. But then I think they've been getting better week by week, Toby. I know they played a lot of out-of-conference games against Towns County, Copper Basin, Lookout Valley out of Chattanooga, and North Georgia. They won all those, but they've been good lately, winning over Andrews by 1. They had an easy win over Cherokee, and just last week beating the Rosman Tigers. So they're kind of on a roll here. So that confidence has got to be growing, as you know, as a head coach. That goes with winning. It's
very important, and that's part of a culture change when you're trying to change the culture of a team and a community and how they look at the football program. Those streaks are important. To be able to keep that confidence level where you want it to be able to compete in these games. And I expect a very spirited squad. I'm more anxious, Gary, to see what the Maroon Devils come out to tonight. They still have some injuries. Colby Kirkland is out tonight on the interior line, and Bryce Sane is out for the third straight game. So we're going to have some people step up in a big game setting. And we didn't respond very well to that at Robbinsville and on a Monday night, and all of that goes with that. But I'm anxious to see how we respond tonight. It was not the Gladiators was it was a quarter for our starters essentially, so it didn't tell you a whole lot. So this week will be the telltale sign of how we're doing, and we really look forward to seeing that continued improved line play where we dominated football games early in the season. And if we can get back to that, I think given a good seeding in the 1AA playoffs, we might be able to make a pretty good push down the road a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's going to be big. And Toby, you're right to get good line play because, I was thinking driving over here to win in the Smoky Mountain Conference year in and year out, as the Big Three normally do. You got to be able to run the football, and you got to be able to stop the run. And that really starts with your offensive line and your defensive line. And you got to have good play from both if you're going to be able to run the ball successfully and mix in the pass when you can. And on the other side of that, stop the run. And I think that's on both defenses here tonight. Can they stop the other team's running game?
Well, and that's going to be key because the Jackets come in here with Blake McClure, 1,289-yard rusher, so he's in the top of the Smoky Mountain Conference, and that says a mouthful right there, Gary, when you're in the top of the conference and rushing. So they're going to have to stop him, and that will be a challenge. And the Maroon Devils, of course, need to find a way to do business with the running game again without Bryce in the lineup, and I don't think they've had really enough time to be able to adjust that, to be honest with you, in the 2 games that he's been out and being able to find the rhythm. But realistically, it suits Swain's offensive philosophy to a T, just going 3 or 4 yards at a time and having long, sustained drives. And that will be a key tonight. Of course, as you said, offensive and defensively, you got to be able to run the football. But on the defensive side, or the flip side of that, you need stops. Yeah. You need to be able to get a stop and get your defense off the field a little bit and make stops and give your offense a good field position. And that's something that the Maroon Devils will look to do tonight with this Hayesville offense. They have not lit up opponents the way the Robbinsvilles and the Murphys have, but yet they've still been able to produce a game in which they were able to win, a close one against Andrews 21-20 right after those 2 losses. So that was a huge bounce-back win for them when their confidence was probably pretty low. The Maroon Devils are looking for that, I believe, tonight in that type of setup.
I think you're exactly right, trying to bounce back and try to establish some of that momentum that we mentioned earlier to hopefully carry you into the playoffs and get off on a good foot. And talking about foot, of course, we hate to hear that about Bryce Sane, our leading running back, who has 832 yards and 9 touchdowns of his own. But you're right, McClure for Hayesville, Blake McClure, only a junior like Bryce is, 1,289 yards, 15 touchdowns. Their quarterback is a pretty good runner as well. Talking about another McClure. Yep. That's a good name here at Hayesville. Hayden McClure, the junior quarterback, has run for 516 yards, passed for 730 yards. So they can throw when they need to, and they've got a big target out there with Jake McTaggart, a sophomore who is 6'6" and provides terrible matchup situation for any secondary.
Absolutely, and this Hayesville offense is a spread offense with the quarterback in a shotgun, and they do the read option. That way is the way they run their options. So that's why both the McClures are so dangerous back there. Is you've got to pick your poison, so to speak, and see how you handle that. It's a different offense than Swain's seen in recent weeks. It'll be interesting to see how they develop that. But Gary, on the offensive side for Swain, I look for them to try to get Donovan Grunwald a little bit more involved offensively from the outside coming in a little bit. He Gage Jones, Connor Hyatt all have some speed that they might be able to utilize in ways, in more creative ways than Hayesville may have seen us use on tape. And I look for them to get them a little bit more involved in the offense and probably rely even more on Damien if that's possible in the run game.
Yeah, well, when you lose a Bryce Sane, you lose a lot of speed that is really hard to say, well, next man up. Well, next man up may not have the kind of speed that a Bryce Sane has, and I think that's going to be one of the issues that you're talking about. That's a Growing can bring to the table. Connor Hyatt, some of these guys, they have some good quickness that on jet sweeps and those kind of plays that can really open things up.
Yeah, and I look for us to do that. I think that the Swain offensive staff really wanted to do some of that at the Robbinsville game, but were unable to because once you get put behind the chains on first and second down, it's hard to do those creative things and run that risk, because sometimes you're running a risk of a big loss when you do things like that. So they really didn't get the opportunities to do that very much. I do remember Donovan having a run in that Robbinsville game. I think he got 6 or 7 yards on it and was called back for a hold or something to that effect, which was the norm of the night for the Maroon Devils that night against the Knights. But, that being said, though, Gary, there's a huge one going on just over the mountain over here with the Black Knights and Bulldogs going at it for 1A supremacy in the smaller 1A. That's what we begin talking about this time of year, is they're, of course, going to be in the small 1A. And one of them is probably going to be the top seed. I don't know which one, but one of them. Whoever wins tonight.
No doubt about that. And that should be a huge game, and obviously they're going to have a huge crowd. And there are a lot of other big games going on outside the conference tonight, Toby. I know in that Mountain 6, they have some interesting games going on as Brevard, Pisgah, and Smoky Mountain are all fighting for a piece of that conference championship. And literally, they could wind up in a 3-way tie and have to draw numbers out of a hat like we did a couple of years ago.
Well, and two, when we talk about the 1A playoffs, Gary, there's a couple of games in that scenario that are big for either us or the small 1A. For instance, in the Northwest Conference, East Surrey, who's 10-0, hosts Mount Airy, who's 8-2. The winner of that one's going to be conference champion and get the number 1 seed overall, probably. Yeah. Everyone expecting East Surrey to win that one, but that's kind of like a Robbinsville, Murphy-Swain thing. That's a big rivalry game for both of them. And then in the Western Highlands, you've got Mountain Heritage and Polk going at it tonight. If Polk were to win that one, they would catapult into the first seed spot over Mitchell in the 1AA playoffs. So big games in those. And then in the Southern Piedmont, they've got a 3-way tie down there between Mountain Island Charter, Bessemer City, and Thomas Jefferson Classical that will not be broken tonight. It'll have to be broken with a draw, as they're all tied at 6-1. They don't play each other tonight. So unless somebody screws up, they're all going to be conference champions. So there's a lot of big games going on across the state tonight, and it will have huge impact on pairing and seedings for the playoffs.
Oh, no question about it. Fans, stay tuned. We'll come back. We have Neil Blankenship, and he's going to be talking with Taylor Holt in just a minute. But right now, let's break 2 minutes down the line for this timeout here on the Maroon Devils Network.
This is Taylor Holt with the Maroon Devils Network. I've got some important information for you guys, so listen up. It is time to pre-order your very own DVD or Blu-ray box set of the 2019 Maroon Devil varsity football season. This action-packed set will include every regular season game, all postseason games, plus a specially edited game highlights program. You can choose either DVDs or Blu-ray discs for the same low price of just $30 per set. Go to www.maroondevils.com and click Store to place your order. Get all of the action and excitement of the 2019 varsity football season to enjoy in the comfort of your own home for years to come. So what are you waiting for? Go now. Go to www.maroondevils.com to get your own piece of Maroon Devil history.
Fans, welcome back on a Friday night. We are audio only here tonight, broadcasting from Hayesville High School. So if you're tuning in on the Maroon Devils Network wondering Wow, what's wrong with my picture? Well, that's why. We're not allowed to do that.
They don't have to look at us.
That's right. There is a flip side of that.
That's the flip side to that. So and you might as well get used to it because this is the way it'll be the rest of the way. So
you're right. No audio, no video. I keep getting audio and video confused, but no video down the line in the playoffs as well until we get to the state championship game. And, of course, that's going to be done by a contracted group that would carry that.
Professionals.
Professionals, yes, indeed.
But as they say.
That's it. In other words, they're paying the state more than we are.
That's right. That's exactly right.
That franchise fee. But on a serious note, let's check in with Taylor Holt, who got to sit down and talk some Maroon Devil football with head coach Neil Blankenship. Taylor, take it away.
This is Taylor Holt with the Maroon Devils Network. I'm here with head football coach Neil Blankenship.
Right.
So, Coach, last week we had a decisive win, 60-0. What can you tell us about that?
Well, it was good to have a good win after our tough 2 losses back-to-back, and then we got a lot of young kids to play in time, and so, it was good to get a win and get back going again, and that was a good thing to get that bad taste out of your mouth after losing 2 in a row. So I was real pleased with that, and to get a win and play at home for parent night, and to do that the last times, you're not guaranteed another home game, so it was big for us to let those seniors have their last game here, be a win, and until we find out where we're going to be in the playoffs.
So last week you mentioned that at this game we'd have a lot more of second-team players get out on the field, and we did see a lot of new jerseys. What can you tell me about them?
Well, I tell you, I was excited the way our twos and our backups played, and they got a lot of time. They got a whole lot of time and got a lot of experience, and, when we got to evaluate some of them and where they're at, and they got to see where they were at, and it was good to get them to see them have some fun there. And probably the biggest thing I got out, and I talked to our team about this yesterday, was I liked how our number ones pulled for them and got excited when they did well. So, it was one of them things where the roles were reversed, where now they were on the sideline pulling for them. And so I was real pleased to see the way the kids responded to that. And, it's always good to see those kids who come every day, work hard, but maybe not getting the time yet because of their either size or they're just not ready to get that opportunity to play. And that's exciting as a coach to get to see them do that. So that was fun and enjoyable, and, you just hope you get more opportunities to do that.
Now with those kids, were you excited to see, where they were? Were you surprised and excited to see where they'll go?
Well, there were some of them that showed us a lot of promise, and they showed us, that they're almost ready to help us. And when we may have found some spots where we can use some of them on some special teams, when we started looking for some backups for some special teams, some of them moved up, and they're able to, maybe if somebody gets tired or we get somebody dinged up, they'll be on those special teams now with the ones. So, you do take those games and you look at them and evaluate them and see where you're at with that. So, yeah, they could see there's some kids that have got some great promise there.
So this week we are going to Hayesville to face the Yellow Jackets. What can you tell us about that game?
Well, it's for third place, and it's a big game for us. It's really our playoffs have started because with a win here, we're probably going to get a home game for the first round. If we don't win, we're going to be on the road. So if our kids want to play at home, then we'll take care of business. Hayesville is a very, very athletic team. They have a great quarterback and a great running back who get a lot of their yards and a lot of their scoring. Their offense is extremely dangerous. They've scored a lot of points this year. So we're going to have to take care of business on D side and really work hard there. Offensively, we got to take care of the ball and move the football and be more consistent. The last few ball games on offense, we just hadn't been as consistent as we need to be. So we got to get back on course there and do that.
Thank you, Coach, and good luck on Friday.
Thank you.
This has been Taylor Holt with the Maroon Devils Network. Be sure to stay tuned.
And welcome back on a Friday night as our Maroon Devils are getting ready to take the field here in just a minute, along with of course, the home Hayesville Yellow Jackets. As again, we expect a heck of a game here tonight. A lot of people think, "Wow, we've never had any trouble with Hayesville." Well, hey, just look back to last year, 21-20 ball game, and that was a very, very tight ball game. Now, again, as I mentioned, the Hayesville team 7-3, their most wins since 2007. And Toby, wouldn't you know, we haven't lost to Hayesville since 2007.
2007, there you go.
So you can't take anything for granted. As people ought to know, in the Smoky Mountain Conference, there's that tradition that goes back for decades, literally. So you can't overlook anybody on a given Friday night.
You cannot, that's for sure. And there's a sparse crowd out here tonight, and most undoubtedly, Gary, the coldest weather that we've played in this season.
Yeah.
You know, we played probably 8 of our 10 or 11 games in 70-degree heat. We were cramping and stuff. So this is a drastic departure. It'll be interesting for both teams to see how they handle that because, you know, realistically, it's the first time they've been in it. It obviously has kept some fans away. I think the loss to Robbinsville, from our standpoint, kept some fans probably over at Murphy tonight, watching Murphy and Robbinsville. I hope not.
Yep.
Hope you're at home listening to us. But
right.
It is a sparse crowd. It's senior night for the Jackets. They've got a lot going on, so hopefully they've got a good crowd out here tonight. And because I think it's going to be a really good football game, to be honest with you.
Oh, I do too. Again, not overlooking the Hayesville Yellow Jackets at all. As we mentioned, we're both tied at 3-2 in conference play, and it's going to be, I think, a whale of a game here tonight. Fans, stay tuned. We'll come back and get this thing kicked off after this 2-minute break right here on the Maroon Devils Network.
This is Taylor Holt with the Maroon Devils Network. I'd like to talk to you about an important policy. Please remember that smoking and the use of smokeless tobacco or e-cigarettes and other vaping devices is prohibited on all campuses in Swain County. This includes Swain County Memorial Stadium. Smoking and the use of smokeless tobacco or e-cigarettes and other vaping devices is not allowed while on campus for faculty, staff, students, fans, or visitors to our campuses. Thank you for supporting Swain County Schools.
Fans, welcome back. Both captains, or I should say both teams' captains, are on the field. Of course, for our Maroon Devils, as always, we have 5 or 6 captains, led over there by Connor Hyatt. Also 22, Bryce Sain, who's not playing tonight. Ian Brooks, who's going to be running a lot more tonight, is our fullback. 44, Thomas Allen, who might actually be playing some line tonight before it's all said and done. Also, Chase Hughes, number 51, and 52, Charlie Lambert. And, of course, the Hayesville Yellow Jackets with their captains out there ready to go. But 2 guys we're going to be missing tonight. As Toby Burrow mentioned earlier, Colby Kirkland going to be out tonight. Colby plays right tackle on offense, plays the defensive line on defense, and the opening kick is going to be controlled by Hayesville. They will receive the opening kickoff to get going offensively. As we mentioned, Colby Kirkland out and Bryce Sain also out. And Toby, when you have a guy like Colby who plays both ways, that's not just one, but 2 holes to fill.
Exactly. And the Maroon Devils, though, have had a couple of weeks now to work with that, practice-wise and game-wise, to try to fill those 2 holes you're talking about. And one of those, maybe tonight, like we talked about before the ball game, is Jake Langston may move down inside and play in the interior of the line just a little bit tonight if need to be to fill one of those spots from his tight end position. But we'll keep an eye on that for you and let you know if it does happen. And in the meantime, the Maroon Devils will be kicking off. They'll be on defense first, so they'll get their first test right out of the gate against the Jacket offense and the McClures running the football back there. And So it should be a good night of football. We'll try to keep you informed of everything going on here. Since you can't see what's going on, we'll try to be a little more colorful.
That's right. We'll do all we can. And as we were talking to a little bit in the pregame show a few minutes ago, obviously the playoff brackets are going to be released tomorrow. So tomorrow afternoon you can go to NCHSAA, North Carolina High School Athletic Association, and find out those seedings. And sometimes they have preliminary brackets and then come out and make a couple of changes. So be interesting to see how that goes.
Well, they do the preliminary brackets and then wait for any discrepancies that are messed up or whatever the case may be to come in and adjustments they made. For instance, they did that in the soccer playoffs. They released a preliminary and then had to make some changes based upon an incorrect record being reported and so forth. So that'll be the case tomorrow, but all eyes on that. And we can't with any confidence predict it, Gary, because we don't know what the final Max Prep secret rankings are going to be, and nobody will know that except the High School Athletic Association.
I know it is. It's like the secret cooking method for KFC. Back deep to return, Tyler Anderson for the Yellow Jackets along with Cable Krieger. And they're going to be back there to return. This was going to be a low line drive kick, going to be picked up back there by they come right up the right side as Anderson returns back out near the 30-yard line. Good return for the Yellow Jackets, and they'll have pretty good field position here. Bunch of guys on the tackle down there. Andrew Chavez and others down there on the stop.
Chavez has been an outstanding special teams player this year. He makes a lot of tackles in that. We use a lot of the starters in that situation, too. You see Jake Langston and Cody Long out there making tackles in the special teams as well. So they're the Jackets are going to signal in their place from the sideline, and we're ready to go.
Ready to go. We already see Hayesville, 5 wide receivers, an empty backfield. Got one man in motion now coming to the left side. The quarterback is going to run it over here, trying to get those wide receivers to block for him, but good play out here on the edge. Coming up over here for the Maroon Devil defense, that looked like Donovan Groenwald coming up over there on the tackle. So he read that and fought his block and played it well.
Well, they kept the outside shoulder available, which is something that I know you've heard Coach White talk about a lot on camera.
Here we go, second down, and now about 7 for the Yellow Jackets. This time trips on the right side, one receiver wide left and one back in the backfield. And, of course, those are the McClure pairs, the quarterback and the running back. He throws off his intended receiver's hands out there at the 45-yard line, and that's going to be Elijah Deese, a 6-foot wide receiver, just running a slant pan over the middle, Toby, and that was close.
It was just a little bit high for him, but the thing that I see immediately is the Jackets' quick strike offense here, going with no huddle and signaling in. They can go set and then come back out of that, and our Maroon Devils have a hard time getting a play call in from Coach Neil Blankenship, so there'll probably be a lot of vanilla defense played tonight.
Another different set this time. We got the running backs right beside the quarterback. McClure back to throw, has pressure down the middle, and again, just led his receiver just a little bit too much, trying to get it to Blake McClure out of the backfield right down the middle of that secondary, over the linebackers back where the safeties were playing.
Cody Long running with him on that play, had McClure in coverage, and the pass was errant, so incomplete there. The Jackets will punt. It's going to be Gage Jones back for the Maroon Devils. That's normally the position we see Bryce Sane in, so Jones is back to return this kick. It's going to be a rugby style. They run to the right and then kick it way up in the air. Jones is going to catch it and try to return it.
Yep, got a short return, but returned it back to the 33-yard line. Got about a 4-yard return, but handled it well. And again, Hayesville, good coverage. They were on him immediately.
Yeah, you could almost say a swarm, couldn't you?
Yes.
Is it too early for that?
A swarm of the Hayesville Yellow Jackets. You're exactly right, Toby Burrell, and good call. Yes, indeed. And I'm sure their defense is going to be trying to swarm around our offense all night here as our Maroon Devils are going to line up now. This time it's going to be Damian Wright under center. And in the backfield, we're going to have Ian Brooks. And with him back there is going to be Colby Taylor. And we come out running the football as opposed to Hayesville, who ran the first play, then passed 2 times in a row. Our Maroon Devils coming out on the ground.
And no huddle from the Maroon Devils. That's a different look. So they come straight to the line of scrimmage to run the next play, veer back set.
Damian Lossy has the plays. You see him hold up his arm right there and check the play off his left forearm instructions. And over the right side, there's a big hole for Ian Brooks. Breaks a tackle into the secondary down to the 45-yard line. And again, outstanding running by Brooks because he was hit just past the line of scrimmage, Toby, but busted it for a big play.
Well, that was the same play, Gary. They went right back to the 33 actually in this case, his number, the 33 dive. And they hugged it in on the guard's block. They caved that whole side in, and he had a lot of running room that time, 15, 16-yard gain out of that.
Outstanding play for Ian Brooks. Coming wide right this time, it's going to be Connor Hyatt along with Donovan Groenwald, as everybody else is going to be in tight on 1st and 10 at the 44. A pass out here, just off the fingertips, but hanging on. It's going to be Groenwald. Connor Hyatt kept blocking. And good play over here by the Yellow Jacket secondary. They came up with a good stop over here, but Donovan almost lost it off his fingertips, but hung on.
Well, again, that's us seeing Coach Scotty McMahon, the offense, doing exactly what we talked about in the pregame of trying to get Donovan involved offensively and use his speed. They'll do the same with Connor before it's over with, but 4 yards on the play, and they stretch the Hayesville defense to run.
Here come the Hayesville Yellow Jackets. They could almost see that play coming, Toby, as we hand off. And their linebackers came right up into that gap where the running back was running to, and just no place to run for Ian Brooks.
Well, he ended up falling forward for a gain of about 2 or 3, which is what you like to see out of your running backs in successful plays, but unsuccessful as well, being able to gain positive yardage. So we're not behind the sticks. It's 3rd and call it a long 3, I guess, 4 maybe.
Yep.
Somewhere in that neighborhood, makeable range for the Maroon Devils.
This time the line of scrimmage at the 38-yard line. Split backs behind Damian. Turns, hands off. Ian hit basically at the line of scrimmage. He keeps surging forward, but is still going to be short of the first down. He gets to the 39-yard line, or 36-yard line, I'm sorry. So we're still going to need 2 yards, so it's 4th and 2 here on this drive, and I'd say we're in 4-down territory.
I don't think there's any question that this is going to be the Maroon Devils going forward. It's just a question of what they want to try to do to gain 2 yards here. The Jackets are in a 4-4 defense, 4 down linemen, 4 linebackers in there, and they are in the secondary, 1 up on the outside receivers with very little safety help out there in the middle of the field. He's got to take the tight end. So it's pretty much one-on-one. The Maroon Devils will go to that at some point.
Here comes Damian under center, 4th and 2. Pitch out to the left side. Taylor has the first down. Still running hard down to the 30-yard line. Nice toss to Colby Taylor, who was really wide out there, Toby, but that pitch from Damian caught him right in the numbers, and he had some running room.
Well, that's getting outside of that 44 defense and making the outside linebacker make a play downfield. Good ball strategy there by the Maroon Devils, a good first down run, and a good opening drive for the Maroon Devils after that 3 and out on defense, getting that stop we talked about in the pregame.
Here we go. Again, Colby Taylor, Ian Brooks lining up right behind Damian Lossy, who wants to throw. Slant pattern just too high as Connor Hyatt was just running right inside the 20-yard line toward the center of the field. But that you'd have to be about 15 feet tall to pull that one in.
Yeah, he got a little bit underneath that one, and it sailed on him. That's something we've seen from Damian as the season has progressed from time to time, is he'll get underneath it, and it'll sail a little high on him. But, again, one-on-one coverage out there with the corners on Hyatt and Grunwald. And so that leaves the free safety to take Langston at tight end. And the Maroon Devils have some things they can do there. Look for them to exploit that as the game goes on.
Here we go, 2nd down and 10. This time Jake moves over to the left side on the tight end spot. This time Damian right straight ahead, just on a quarterback draw play. Quick draw down to about the 26-yard line. This is going to bring up a 3rd down. And depending on where they spot the football, right at the 20, right on the 25. So we still need about 3.5, almost 4 yards.
That was the 33 dive and follow right there as Damian just tucked the ball and followed Ian Brooks, used him as a blocker against that 4-4 defense and surged ahead for 6 big yards.
Nice play. And again, Ian Brooks, good blocker, and his running back there, Colby Taylor. They're tough, physical kind of players. This time Jake lines up right side strong, and this time the handoff goes to, as they get down to the 20-yard line, very close to a first down.
Brooks again.
Yeah, looks like Ian. I think he got it.
He did. And that was the 33 bend back. He went midline on that right over the center and found a groove to run in and was able to go without hesitation. A good job by Ian hitting the hole as he just blew into it.
So this time we're going to have Connor wide right. And Donovan wide left, way wide. This time the tight end, strong side right. Damian under center. Split backs again. Turns, hands off to the first man. It's going to be Taylor, and Taylor still dragging people with him down near the 10-yard line, close to another first down. Some outstanding running. And Toby, that tells me one thing, is that our line is getting it done up front.
They're doing a great job here in this early going against this 4-4 look, and that's not easy. It shifts and moves on them, so they've got to be able to communicate their blocks. But they found a little niche there that Taylor and Brooks have been able to find. Good running room forward in each of those sets.
Getting the angle, and this time again, same set. Jake lines up, strong side right, split backs again. This time Damian takes it straight ahead, and he's down inside the 5, and that's going to be a first down and goal to go. Maroon Devils now with 5:57 to play. No score yet here in the first quarter, but the Maroon Devils big time knocking on the door here.
And one of the things about that 4-4 defense, Gary, is that a lot of times they don't line up over the center. And over the years, the Maroon Devils have done a great job reading that with the quarterback and just making a play on his own without a called play being run.
So Damian reading it well. Again, Jake, strong side right, split backs. Damian under center, hands off right side. Ian Brooks cuts it back, and looks like he's in. Touchdown, Ian Brooks and the Maroon Devils.
Boy, that was a great opening drive right there, Gary, for the Maroon Devils. Couldn't have drawn it up to open this game any better, getting a 3-and-out on defense to start with. Then marching down the field methodically, taking advantage of what they got, good hard running, and now on the board with 5:38 remaining and in the lead.
So getting it done now. Connor coming on to hold, coming on to kick is going to be Gavin Lanning. Good snap, good hold, and a line drive kick, but it goes over the crossbar, and that's the only thing that matters. Kick is good with 5:38 to play. Maroon Devils take a 7-0 lead. We'll be back. Stay with us in 1 minute here on the Maroon Devils Network. Ready to rock and roll here at Hayesville as the Maroon Devils will kick it deep all the way back to the 10-yard line. On the return, back out to the 15, to the 20. Good open field tackle down there. And that looked like Gage Jones going down there. Solo stop, Toby. Good coverage.
Yeah, he went straight in and got the return man's legs, knocked him out from under him. And just over the 20 to the 22. So good coverage by the Maroon Devils. Good kick by Pond. Putting it back there, and then Jones excellent in coverage.
And one of the best kicks we've seen all year. Aiden Pond really drilled that one here. Again, it's a cold night. 5.5 minutes to play, first quarter here. From again live with audio from Hayesville, and this time the Maroon Devil defense really getting it done in the backfield in a hurry. Leading the charge in there is going to be Cody Long. Also in there, looks like as they all untangle, Cody was kind of leading the charge, but good defense.
It was. They did a great job of reading that. Now Charlie Lambert comes out there limping a little bit, and he's walking it off. The Jackets came out, and they're no huddle again, and fortunately he had a little bit of time to walk around there and walk that off. He looks all right now, but at the time it didn't look good.
Well, he's a tough kid. Charlie, 5'11", 210-pound senior. A senior-laden squad here for the Maroon Devils. Firing. McClure got his man over here on the right side. Their first completion of the night, complete out to the 25-yard line. Pass complete over there to Tyler Anderson, one of their junior tight ends.
And that was Connor Hyde on coverage. One of those things where they rolled out, waiting to see if the corners came up hard and run support. And if they did, they threw the ball. Connor just settled in and waited for the pass he kind of had that measured. Maybe later on in the game when that's thrown, he might be able to pick it off.
And he's very capable. Third down now, 7 to go for the Jackets. This time, trips over here on the left side, and looks like you got a penalty.
And it's going to be whether it's movement on them or us. Jake stepped across, but he pointed at their tackle, and it's going to be on us.
So that's going to give the Jackets 5. So instead of 3rd and 7, now 3rd and 2. And Toby, as you know, a totally different scenario.
Absolutely. The Jackets now spreading all the receivers out to spread the Swain defense. See if they go inside to McClure, see if he can get them 2 yards right here and move the chains.
So now the Maroon Devil defense trying to set up, and you're exactly right. This time, 2 wide receivers way out here on the left side, 1 tight on the right side, split backs, and they go right up the A-gap. Nothing new there, but I think Nick Millsap said, hey, not gonna get it done, so Nick gets up there with the initial hit, and good coverage to follow with Chase Hughes and Cody Long.
Boy, they even got a good spot out of that, Gary, but they're still a yard short. As you said, the Maroon Devils just blitzed that gap, met McClure head on. And 4th and 1 right here early in the ball game. Do you go for it or not from your own 31 is the question for the Jackets. They appear to be going for it, but it could be a ruse just to draw us off sides.
That's right. This time McClure, the quarterback, is going to be under center. Got the old I formation right behind him. A lot of Maroon Devils up there. Oh, and their wide receiver on the far side moved, and that's going to back up Hayesville 5, and now they're probably going to punt it away.
Well, that was exactly what they're trying to do is draw us off with some different count up there close to the line, and their guy couldn't stay still, which is a bonus for us.
So I tell you, we know that movement doesn't take much, and we've seen a lot of false starts this year from a lot of teams. 4th down now, and the Maroon Devils again will be ready to return, but this punt is going to be kicked away from our return game, and it's going to be blown dead down at the 40-yard line. Outstanding field position to start off for the Maroon Devils after the Yellow Jacket punt, leaving us with 2:56 to play here in the first quarter as we lead 7-0. But an interesting start. And Toby, we've seen a lot of different sets out of Hayesville. They are really mixing up their offense here tonight.
Yeah, and they spread the field a lot, try to take advantage of that. The Maroon Devils are going to counter here with their standard veer set. It's Colby Taylor and Ian Brooks in the backfield for the Maroon Devils with Lossie.
So now Colby and Ian gets the handoff, runs up the right side. He's into the secondary and is finally ridden down at the 43-yard line of Hayesville. But that's the second time we've seen that tonight. Toby, from number 33, Ian Brooks, he just busted it right between, right up the B gap, and big gain.
Well, Damian clearly read that. I don't think it was a straight dive call. I think he read it. And he did a good job of reading it, too, because whoever he was going on stayed in line with him and left that gap wide open that you were talking about. Ian rumbling through there, running hard. Big gain on the play for Ian.
You know, Ian's a physical back. He's 5'9", 180 pounds, one of those seniors, and really runs hard, just like his running mate tonight in Colby Taylor. This time it's going to be Ian again, but this time they cut his feet out from under him, and boy, he hits the ground hard at the 40-yard line, but still got 2 or 3 yards, even though they cut his legs out from under him there.
Yeah, it's positive yards every time for the Maroon Devils here. They're staying ahead of the chains with what they're doing. This time they've used the no huddle effectively. They've called the play already. They're already up there, so the Jackets can't make any adjustments. They see something they can take advantage of, and they're going right at it.
Getting it done between the tackles. This time it's going to be Taylor on the carry, and he carries down to about the 36-yard line. More positive yards as our Maroon Devils just keep moving those sticks. And Toby, as we know, that's always kind of been the MO of the Maroon Devils is trying to get those first downs. And by the way, our new offensive lineman tonight in the place on Colby Kirkland is 67, Connor McCoy, another senior.
Connor's had a real good season, Gary. He stepped in some big places throughout the year, particularly on the defensive line, spelling some of those guys when he wasn't playing offense, and now he's really stepping up his game to go both ways again.
6 feet, 215-pound senior. And here we go, right behind him, basically, over there on the right side of that line. Again, it's going to be Ian Brooks, but he didn't get the first down. They're going to spot it at the 35-yard line. We need another yard and a half, almost 2 more yards. So that's going to bring up another big 4th down for this Maroon Devil offense, but we've seen it before.
Yeah, it's going to be 2 for the line to gain for a first down right here. And under a minute now in the first quarter of play. See what the Maroon Devils do. Nothing different alignment-wise.
This time, coming strong side right is going to be Jake Langston. Split backs again. Damian, kind of a long count. He goes straight ahead with it, and he busts it out of the gap, and he's going to score down the left sideline. Damian Lossy all the way to the house, and when he got past the initial line, Toby, he just literally spun out of it, and there was nobody on that left side.
Well, we've seen Damian use that spin move all season long very effectively, and he failed a little contact on his right and spun out of that, and then just broke it outside. Got a great block out there from Connor. It was Connor or Groenwald won. I think it was Connor on that side, just took the cornerback out, and then Damian bulled his way over from one because somebody was closing on him, and he didn't even try to dive. He just tried to make contact and get in the end zone.
So a good run over there by Damian Lossy, and the extra point after touchdown is going to be up and good by Gavin Lanning, who is 2 for 2 tonight. And we have less than a minute to play here in the first quarter. And our Maroon Devils are in the lead, 14-0. We'll be back. Stay with us. We'll be back in 1 minute here on the Maroon Devils Network.
This is Taylor Holt with the Maroon Devils Network. I've got some important information for you guys, so listen up. It is time to pre-order your very own DVD or Blu-ray box set of the 2019 Maroon Devil varsity football season. This action-packed set will include every regular season game, all postseason games, plus a specially edited game highlights program. You can choose either DVDs or Blu-ray discs for the same low price of just $30 per set. Go to www.maroondevils.com and click Store to place your order. Get all of the action and excitement of the 2019 varsity football season to enjoy in the comfort of your own home for years to come. So what are you waiting for? Go now. Go to www.maroondevils.com to get your own piece of Maroon Devil history.
Fans back live on a Friday night, a cold, crisp Friday night. And here comes a high kick, going to be taken at the 16-yard line by the Yellow Jackets. Back out across the 25, out near the 30, but stood up out there. Outstanding open field tackle, and that was Thomas Allen, who has had a great season for the Maroon Devils as he knocks down their return man, Cable Krieger over there. Their junior on the return. 31 seconds to play here in the first quarter. And Toby Burrell, as we mentioned in the pregame show, we're seeing what we hoped we would see, and that's outstanding play by the offensive and defensive lines. We've seen two good consuming drives that the running game is working very well.
It is, and that's good news.
No doubt about it. Right now, the Maroon Devils and what Coach Rod White calls the wolf front with that three-man front. This time, Hayesville got a man in the secondary, and looks like he's going to take it all the way to the house, as this time they burn us long. And way back there was Tyler Anderson. And Toby, I've got to say, nobody within about 3 to 4 yards of him, and he had plenty of running room.
Yeah, the Maroon Devils got sucked in on the run, the fake, it was play-action fake to McClure, and they got sucked in on that big time, and it cost them a touchdown right there.
So, again, McClure caught Tyler Anderson, who got behind the secondary out at about the 45-yard line, and McClure put it right on the money to Tyler Anderson. And going all the way home for the score, and the point after touchdown is going to be good. So now, it's going to be no good. Now they say no good. It's going to be wide right. And with 21 seconds to play, we'll keep it right here on this break, and then we'll come back in just a moment after the end of the first quarter. But, Toby, we may have some other scores.
I got some scores of interest.
Right.
In the Mountain 6, Brevard 7, Pisgah 0. Still in the first quarter, Smoky Mountain 7, Franklin 0. Still in the first. Mitchell 23, Avery 0. Owen Madison tied at 0. Polk and Mountain Heritage, no score yet. No score in Robbinsville and Murphy yet, 0-0. Andrews is up 7-0 on Rosman in the first quarter.
I tell you, that's talking about Mountain Heritage and Polk County and Mitchell. Those are three schools we got to kind of keep an eye on and see how they finish up.
Yeah, absolutely. Tuscola's up on Irwin 7-0 early on in that one too, and a score in the state championship game for the what is that, Independent Schools? Christ School is up 14-7 on Charlotte Christian in the second quarter.
All right. I think it's Greenies. Go Greenies.
Absolutely.
Navy Schuler, of course, their quarterback, the son of one Maroon Devil Hall of Famer and outstanding guy is Heath Schuler's son, as everybody knows, Navy. Now here comes the kickoff from Hayesville, going to be taken by an up man at the 25, back out to the 30, down the left side. Looks like Connor Hyatt has some room, and he carries all the way out near midfield. An outstanding return. Sometimes I can't tell if it's a 5 or a 6, but that was Connor Hyatt, number 5.
Yeah, it was Connor that time, and he gets it all the way up to the 48. Had some room down that sideline, but they closed in on him quickly. And the Maroon Devils, again, excellent field position to start this drive with just 14 seconds remaining before the end of the quarter.
So this time, wide left side is going to be Donovan Groenwald. Connor Hyatt coming out wide right as he had that really, really good return. And now it's going to be Damian Lossy checking the play at the line of scrimmage. We've used pretty much the same set most of the night. Langston lines up on the right side. This time Damian's going to run the option, and he's going to run it for some outstanding yards. Still going. Wow. I mean, he's got a first down. He was stopped 5 yards back downfield at the 47-yard line. He kept running. The whistle didn't blow, and Toby, he got 5 or 6 more yards.
Boy, Damian just took that ball over and was not to be denied. That was some serious running right there. I think we're going to run the clock out here on the quarter. Yep. That'll do us for the first quarter with the Maroon Devils on top, 14-7.
Fans, stay tuned. More coming up after this 1-minute timeout as the first quarter is in the bag. We'll be back here on the Maroon Devils Network.
This is Taylor Holt with the Maroon Devils Network. I've got some important information for you guys, so listen up. It is time to pre-order your very own DVD or Blu-ray box set of the 2019 Maroon Devil varsity football season. This action-packed set will include every regular season game, all postseason games, plus a specially edited game highlights program. You can choose either DVDs or Blu-ray discs for the same low price of just $30 per set. Go to www.maroondevils.com and click Store to place your order. Get all of the action and excitement of the 2019 varsity football season to enjoy in the comfort of your own home for years to come. So what are you waiting for? Go now. Go to www.maroondevils.com to get your own piece of Maroon Devil history.
Thanks a lot. We appreciate Taylor Holt being part of our Maroon Devils Network this year, along with, of course, Emma Dingle and Joe Holtz here every Friday night, keeping things with the video when we can do it, and the audio, bringing you the audio only tonight. So, of course, Joe is still doing the video, so you can have a chance to buy that video later on and watch this game in the comfort of your home. First down, Maroon Devils now at the 41-yard line of Hayesville. Damian under center where he's been all night tonight. This time he rolls to the left side, wants to throw. Looking down the left sideline, finds his man out of bounds at the 30-yard line. And there's a penalty flag. Connor Hyatt was hit out of bounds over here, Toby. Got the first down, and they're going to tack on some more.
And we got another flag coming from that sideline. Our sideline is the correct, and he threw it all the way from the sideline to the hash marks. And Coach Blankenship and Coach McMahon are both out on the field.
Probably unhappy.
Screaming.
Yeah.
They're going to get a sideline warning. That's what he's motioning because of that play.
Okay, now down here, Connor was hit after he went out of bounds, so that was a quick flag. And now they're talking it over.
Well, the original play is a first down Maroon Devils, gain of 11 on the pass from Lossy to Hyatt.
Yep.
We've got, just as we said, they offset each other, which the sideline warning is supposed to be a warning. But so the Maroon Devils lose out on that one. They do get the 11-yard gain, though. Good to see Cody Long back into the lineup. He was removed for one play on the interior line because of an equipment snafu or blood or something, and they got that fixed quickly, and he's back out there now.
Yep, Michael Winchester came in for him momentarily. By the way, the head referee tonight is Carl Junaluska, a guy that we've known for many, many years, calling a lot of different sports. This time, flipping to the right side again, Jake Langston. That's where he's kind of made his home here tonight, and that's where we run this time. And this time it's going to be Taylor again. Nice gain over the right side over there. This time it's Carson Taylor, the sophomore, the brother, of course, of Colby Taylor.
And a good run by Carson over there. And the good thing about those brothers, Gary, is they run the same. They almost look the same, but one of them's fresh now and the other one's not. So you keep bringing the fresh one in all night and do great things. That was a 7-yard gain right there just off of 47 dive.
Good play. Carson Taylor, 5'11", 195. Colby is 5'10", 190. So, yeah, they're very similar in size, just a couple of years apart. Damian Lossy goes straight ahead, right up the A-gap on the quarterback
Still
keeper.
Going.
And he's got the first down. I tell you, Damian is running with some purpose here tonight.
He definitely is running with some purpose, and he's got another Maroon Devil first down inside of the and his helmet comes off, so that's going to be interesting. Will the Maroon Devils take a timeout to keep him in? Or will they run Connor Hyatt in at quarterback? It's going to be Connor in for a play here at quarterback.
Yep. So you lose your helmet, you automatically have to go out of play. And you don't see that much, but occasionally you do see it.
So you got to watch the center quarterback exchange here with a new quarterback in the lineup. Good. Connor's going to pitch it.
Oh, he pitches it to Taylor, but boy, Hayesville is all over this play. And Toby, they saw that coming. I think the timing was off just a hair, but Hayesville knocked us for a loss. Our first loss tonight back at the 25-yard line.
Yeah, that'll be a loss of about 5. First or second and 15 here. Lossy set to come back in, so Hyatt will move back to the split end position, he and Gronwald. And Lossy will go to work here. Yeah, as you said, it's the second time that we've gone outside. The first time was a toss sweep for the first down in the first drive, and nothing going on that one, going to the outside.
4-man front now for the Yellow Jackets. Damian runs this time over the left side into the secondary again, this time down to the 11-yard line goes Damian Lossy on another outstanding run. Damian making some good decisions with his running and his decision-making.
That was the follow play again as he got right behind Taylor that time and followed him through the hole and used him as a lead blocker and got down to the 11. So that'll bring up 3rd and 5 or so.
3rd and about 5. You're right. Got to get down inside the 7-yard line here. This time split backs. Damian Lossy under center again. Connor wide to the left side. We run to the left side and trying to still run hard and get the first down. He got the first down. Again, second effort is paying off big time for the Maroon Devils here tonight. And an outstanding run over there by Carson Taylor.
Boy, one of the coaches has challenged these running backs to run hard.
Man, it's
and they
working.
have accepted the challenge because, folks, I'm telling you, it is brutal. They are absolutely bringing it when they come. Taylor that time absorbed the hit, spun, and moved forward for another 3 to 4 yards out of that. He was probably stopped short of the first down.
Yep, so now you're right. That second effort made it happen. First down, Damian follows him right through the hole, and Damian is in the end zone. And again, an outstanding block in there, right up the gut. Matter of fact, losing his helmet over there, I think, was Colby Taylor, but he's the one that paved the way for Damian. And an outstanding block and a touchdown for the Maroon Devils. And Toby, I couldn't agree more. Hayesville is hitting our guys and playing some stout defense, but just effort is making that second effort pay off big time.
And we really can't forget about the offensive defensive lines either. They've done a great job opening up holes. Our guys are being hit 3 and 4 yards downfield because they're blowing off the ball that hard. So a lot more like the team we saw at the first of the season than the last couple of weeks.
Oh, no doubt. Our offense and defense getting it done. 21-6 now, 9 minutes to play. Uh-oh, hold the phone.
That's on Hayesville. I'm not sure what he's called, but we're going to go over and talk to Coach Blankenship about whether he wants the points or whether he wants the kickoff. He's going to be Jake Langston in the huddle lobbying for what he thought Coach B should do. Coach B just waved him off like, let me handle this.
Yeah, so Coach Blankenship talking with Carl Junaluska as they actually walk toward the sideline together. We'll take a break while they figure it out. We'll be back in 1 minute here on the Maroon Devils Network.
This is Taylor Holt with the Maroon Devils Network. I'd like to talk to you about an important policy. Please remember that smoking and the use of smokeless tobacco or e-cigarettes and other vaping devices is prohibited on all campuses in Swain County. This includes Swain County Memorial Stadium. Smoking and the use of smokeless tobacco or e-cigarettes and other vaping devices is not allowed while on campus for faculty, staff, students, fans, or visitors to our campuses. Thank you for supporting Swain County Schools.
Fans, welcome back. Our Maroon Devils will kick off from our 25-yard line. An unsportsmanlike conduct penalty is the call against our Maroon Devils, assessed here on the kickoff, which probably will result in some outstanding field position here for the Hayesville Yellow Jackets. Squib kick going to be picked up and just falling to the ground. One of the upbacks at the 38-yard line. So, to be honest, Toby, it didn't hurt us too bad on that potential penalty.
No, it sure didn't. 38-yard line, that's almost a win when you're kicking off from the 25.
Yeah, that's
so
not
the Maroon
bad.
Devil defense will go back to work with the Hayesville offense out again, getting their play from the sideline now as they stand and watch.
And that particular kickoff was passed upon by Kyle Lunsford, one of the freshmen on this Yellow Jacket team. A lot of freshmen, of course, have moved up to play varsity now that the JV season is over. First down, and the Yellow Jackets with the football as they hand off and run to the left side. But, man, Nick Millsaps is there, among others, and that play is over in a hurry. Jake Langston also in there again is 51, Chase Hughes, and Blake McClure, one of the leading running backs in the conference, but, man, only 2 tough yards.
Well, that looked like it was going to be a big gainer when it started out, and, Big Nick just reached out and enveloped him. To be honest with you, he disappeared and started going backwards. The others just came in to kind of help push the pile back after it was stopped, and great job by the interior line play of the Maroon Devils.
I tell you, Nick is 6'7", 295, and he's got a pretty good wingspan. He covers a lot of territory in the middle of that line. Ball on the ground, but Hayesville picks it right back up and got a half yard or so out of the play. Down here on the tackle is going to be Charlie Lambert, and again on the carry again is going to be Blake McClure. But that's one good thing about artificial turf that the Yellow Jackets have. That ball bounces up a lot better.
To be honest with you, Gary, it's an incomplete pass.
Oh, they're going to call it incomplete?
No, they didn't call it that, but that's what it was.
That's kind of what it was.
He pitched it forward, which means it's a pass, and when McClure dropped it, that was incomplete, and they let it play out, which could have been advantageous for the Marine Devils had they been able to recover that. So a big third down here for the Jackets.
Yeah, they got to get 8 as again, that ball bounced right back up into the hands of Blake McClure on a nice bounce on artificial turf that you don't normally get on grass. Third down and 8. Maroon Devils with that wolf front. Nick Millsaps right in the middle, and now we've got a timeout. Yellow Jackets call time with 7:24 to play here in the second quarter. Fans, stay tuned. We'll be back in 1 minute. Keep it right here on the Maroon Devils Network.
This is Taylor Holt with the Maroon Devils Network. I've got some important information for you guys, so listen up. It is time to pre-order your very own DVD or Blu-ray box set of the 2019 Maroon Devil varsity football season. This action-packed set will include every regular season game, all postseason games, plus a specially edited game highlights program. You can choose either DVDs or Blu-ray discs for the same low price of just $30 per set. Go to www.maroondevils.com and click Store to place your order. Get all of the action and excitement of the 2019 varsity football season to enjoy in the comfort of your own home for years to come. So what are you waiting for? Go now. Go to www.maroondevils.com to get your own piece of Maroon Devil history.
Back live at Hayesville. Yellow Jackets third down and 8 from their own 40. Maroon Devils, again, a 3-man wolf front. 3 linebackers right behind him. Back to throw is going to be McClure. Steps up, has some room as he rolls out to the left side, cuts back inside, but then runs out of room in a hurry as we have 3 Maroon Devils. Nick Millsaps is there. Ian Brooks is there. And the man on the bottom of the stack getting up slowly, but with another tackle is going to be our leading tackler, Jake Langston, with a big stop.
And boy, Big Nick moved well over there to his right to make that play, and McClure's down. They're going to have to come and take a look at him. As they do that, Gary, it's important for us to notice scores around the conference. Andrews is up 14-0 on Rosman right now, but the one right down the road, Murphy, has jumped in front with a 7-0 lead against the Black Knights still in the first quarter down there.
Wow,
so,
interesting.
Big score from what I read on Twitter there, the Black Knights were stopped on 2 fourth-down attempts by the Bulldog defense. So,
man, that's
a lot of football going on around right now.
That's obviously the game to decide the Smoky Mountain Conference Championship, with Murphy in the lead 7-0, and I'm sure their gate is probably good tonight. Good gate over at Murphy High School.
What we got here? Timeout. We got a knee, something or other.
Looks like
these officials are very adept at sending players off.
Apparently an equipment situation there as Thomas Allen goes to the sideline and coming back in. Looks like Colby Taylor checking in as they work on his actually, Carrie Powell over there might be working on a little bit, might have a little bit of blood.
Yep, I think she's cleaning up a little scrape off the turf there.
And that'll happen. Now it's going to be 4th down. Jackets will punt it back on 4th down and 7. High snap, and he kicks it very, very high. Wow, that one, a lot of hang time and a huge high bounce, but there's going to be no return because there was so much hang time. The Yellow Jacket punt team had plenty of time to get down there and stop any return by Gage Jones. But, Toby, that thing went seemed like 50 yards up in the air, so plenty of hang time.
Yeah, I think the Jackets could have fair caught that.
Yeah, exactly. They really could.
I don't know if that's legal or not, but I think they could have fair caught it.
That was plenty of hang time, so an outstanding punt by Hayesville.
And Gronwall lines up in the back of the I formation now as they move him into the backfield.
So that is the first time, again, we've seen that tonight, as Ian Brooks is going to be right in front of him. They pitch it to him. He actually spins, runs past Ian Brooks, who had a good block, and Donovan out to the 35-yard line. Nice 8-yard pickup, so I'd say that was quite successful.
Well, he's got great speed and good size about him, and he gives an outside threat that the Taylors and Brooks don't necessarily give. So it's just a different wrinkle for the Jackets to have to worry about now, as they no longer have easy coverage on the outside, so to speak.
So, and again, Donovan Groenwald, a sophomore. Again, good size, 6'1", 190 pounds. Receivers wide, left and right. Donovan again, the deep man in the eye, right behind Ian Brooks. Damien's going to run straight ahead and a big gap. Boy, I tell you, he gets through that A gap so quick, Toby. It's almost like the linebacker. He reads the linebacker so well, he knows which way to go on that.
He does, and the underrated part of that is what a good job Charlie Lambert's doing as center to get off that ball and to give Damien a seam to get through right there. The line has just been spectacular so far tonight, Gary. Outstanding
job up there. Again, Connor McCoy filling in the place of the injured Colby Kirkland. And, of course, our other guys, Cody Long, Chase Hughes, Charlie Lambert, Jake Langston, all those guys, Big Nick Millsaps, of course, they're every Friday night. And, boy, the Hayesville Yellow Jackets all over this play, and we're going to be stopped for no gain at the line of scrimmage.
That was a mesh point thing there with Damien and Ian. Neither were willing to let go for fear of a fumble, so it kind of bogged things down pretty quick, and the Jackets were able to snuff it out. Really, before it got started, I think that may have been an outside option with Grunwald in the back of that eye being the pitch man to the short side of the field, but the fake mesh just kind of held on. It meshed.
It meshed. This time again, Connor wide right. Wide to the left side over here is going to be Grunwald, and our Maroon Devils, Damian Lossie wants to throw, gets it out there, and he tried. He had two guys over here in the vicinity, Jake Langston and Donovan Grunwald, but a little too tall for either guy.
And to be honest, both were open.
Yeah. Yep, they both had shots at the ball, and it's almost like which one is he throwing to, but it was too tall, too high either way. As now that stops the clock at 4:50 to play before halftime.
I think he may have rushed that just a hair, Gary. I think if he'd let that play develop just a second, second longer, it would have sprung even more open than it was if we didn't bog down the pattern too much with two people. Now the first time we're in the shotgun look.
This time Ian's going to line up, wing on the left side. And he fakes the handoff. Damien wants to throw, airs it out, wide open is Connor Hyde. He's got it at the 20, and they're going to catch him from behind down inside the 3-yard line.
I think he got in there, but they're going to mark him at the 1. But it looked like he got the pylon when he was reaching out for that, and Connor had to slow down to let the ball catch up with him, or he'd been long gone.
Oh, no doubt. Outstanding, and Connor was wide open in the secondary, Toby, and we talked about that, about getting that defense up there in the box, and then Connor breaks one.
Yeah.
So an outstanding run, and they are going to mark it at the 1-yard line. First down and goal to go. This time coming in wide to the left side is going to be, looks like Robert Green for the first time tonight. Split backs again. And it's going to be Damian straight ahead. And did he get in? It's going to be very close. No signal from the line judge on either side.
Wow.
Our Maroon Devils say touchdown, but I don't think they're going to give it to us.
Wow.
It's just basically the nose of the football almost on the goal line.
Well, I was watching in the monitor on that one, Gary, and it looked like he got over twice, to be honest with you. The first time on the surge and the second time with the ball.
Man. So now it's going to bring up second down and goal. And with 3:55 to play here in the second quarter, 21-6 our score. Split backs again for Damian. Is he going to carry it a second time? And this time he kind of jumps over, and this time they're going to say it's going to count. Touchdown, Damian Lossy on the Maroon Devils. He kind of left his feet on that one, Toby, and went airborne.
Yeah, and, pregame, some of the things we talked about being key here tonight is the fact that they were going to need to lean on Damian a little bit more, and he's been dynamite. And the offensive defensive line needed a good night, and they've fulfilled every bit of that. The running backs have been sensational. Everything's clicking for the Maroon machine so far here in this first half, and that's welcome news for the Maroon Nation, and I know we're quite concerned coming out of the Murphy and Robbinsville losses.
Oh, no doubt about that, Toby. Now they're going to kick the point after a touchdown. That's good. 28-6 Maroon Devils. Stay tuned, fans. 3:44 to play on the first half. Back in 1 minute here on the Maroon Devils Network.
I'm Taylor Holt with the Maroon Devils Network. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. And if you enjoy our videos, please hit the notification bell down below so you can get a notification every time that we upload a video.
Aiden Pond to kick off for the Maroon Devils. He angles this one down the right side. Going to be taken at the 16. Back on the return for the Yellow Jackets because it's going to be Tyler Anderson all the way across the field, out across the 30. Very good return out here. A very late penalty flag coming in as the tackle is made down here on the sideline by Donovan Groenwalder. Check that, maybe.
No, it's Groenwalder.
That's going to be Groenwalder.
We got a block in the back on Hayesville that's going to take the return back.
Yep. Normally when they throw that flag, it's on the return team, and Carl Junaluska has his yellow hanky on the turf.
He's got a hold, and it'll go from the 32 to the 22 for the Jackets to take over possession here. First and 10.
So now the Maroon Devils will see the Jackets march back with 3.5 minutes to play. Still plenty of time before halftime.
And Gary, right now, the Maroon Devils with 162 yards rushing and the Jackets 4. So they're winning the ground game by a wide margin so far against the Hayesville squad.
That's a really good stat to be proud of. Great offensive work by the backs and the line here tonight. McClure rolling to his left. Trying to get away from coverage. Now fires. Just throws this one away down the sideline. But he just had to run, Toby, because, number one, there was a lot of pressure. And, number two, there was nobody open.
Well, he was running for his life. Charlie Lambert and Chase Hughes were dead on his tail right there. And Chase is going to get a breather here and get out. But he did a good job getting after him. And he had no choice but to just throw it out of bounds to avoid a sack.
Yeah, McClure back, staying in the ball game. He got shaken up a little bit earlier, but again, Hayden McClure, their junior quarterback, 730 yards passing and over 500 yards rushing. This time, back of the backfield, straight drop, fires left side. Oh, he threw it behind his intended receiver over there, Tyler Anderson, 17, who was coming across the middle but threw it behind him, but really tight coverage, not much room in there.
Well, they had a wheel route going with the other McClure out of the backfield, and Donovan dropped back and picked him up. So he was covered up on the backside, and I think they went to the dump-off route and just a little bit behind him. And so the Jackets now 3rd and 10, and the Maroon Devils may get another possession here in this first half of play.
So, again, the wolf front for the Maroon Devils. Up front right now, we've got, let's see, looks like we got Bryn Jackson. We got Nick Millsaps up there with him. And over there on the far side, on the right side,
McCoy
is going to be Connor McCoy. So those guys getting it done up there. Good defensive play up front. McClure rolling again, firing, got his man, and it's going to be, looks like a yard short of the first down. They're going to spot it actually at the 30, so it's going to be 2 yards short, and that's going to bring up 4th down and a couple. So good coverage defensively as we kept the receiver from getting the extra yards for the first down.
So decision time for the Jackets here. Do they go for it on 4th and 2 deep in their own territory or with 2:49 left, or do they punt it away again to the Maroon Devil offense?
Still got plenty of time on the play clock, 18 seconds and counting. So trying to make that call. Of course, I think both teams have plenty of timeouts left, 2 for the Jackets, 3 for the Maroon Devils. So timeout's not an issue. Looks like the Yellow Jackets are probably going to let the clock run down some and then call a timeout and probably punt it away.
Well,
but let's see.
Either that or go back out and try to draw the Maroon Devils off again, which they tried one other time and jumped themselves, if you remember.
Yep.
And that might be the strategy here to get a first down. And I'm not sure you want to do that this stage of the ball game. But then again, you're in game 11 of the season, and you need the marquee win. It wouldn't be a bad time to challenge your team and see what they come up with right here before the half. But it'll be an interesting decision either way.
No doubt about it. And I think they're also thinking, hey, let's let that clock run down as far as we can. If we have to give the ball back, there won't be quite as much time on the clock. But as we all know, clock management a big deal. And as we mentioned, the playoff brackets coming out tomorrow. North Carolina High School Athletic Association will be announcing the playoff seeds tomorrow. And, of course, got little 1A and big 1A, 1A and 1AA. Our Maroon Devils, of course, we all already know we're going to be 1AA.
It's a punt, is at least how they're lining up. I'm not sure the Maroon Devils are convinced of that just yet as they're moving around everywhere. Try to get into a spot here so that they don't get drawn off, number one. And number two, it's actually a punt, and it is, and it's another high one.
Boy, he kicks it high. And, back there, we can't hang on to it. The ball is still loose.
Hayesville got that.
And Hayesville looks like gets on the football at the 25-yard line. I tell you, that high punt, Toby, can really confuse a punt return man.
It absolutely can, especially one who's not been back there much.
Yeah.
And Connor Hyatt saves the day again
Man.
with a fumble recovery as he dove in to get to that ball and preserve the possession for the Maroon Devils on their own 26-yard line, Gary. What a big play from the senior.
Wow, I really thought Hayesville had the football.
I thought they had it.
It bounced around. We had a couple of shots at it. They had a couple of shots at it. And, oh, boy, yeah, we dodged a bullet there because Hayesville would have had it at the 25-yard line, 1st and goal with 2:11 to play.
Well, Gary, so far in this game, Damian Lossy, 10 carries, 90 yards already in this ball game. So we talked about him having a big game, and he's really stepped it up.
He really has. This time in the shotgun, turns the hands off, got a reverse coming on. This time around the left side, growing while trying to turn the corner. But I don't think we fooled anybody as Hayesville actually pushes us back. But good play call, but Hayesville didn't bite.
Well, I think it was supposed to have been a pass, and he just didn't have time to get himself squared up and throw it. Connor was going deep. He may have had him if he could have squared it up right there, but it's hard to hold your block that long and in that many different directions.
Yeah, and then throw back across your body.
So, but, honestly, Donovan did a good job getting upfield and getting some positive yardage out of it. We lost 3, but it could have been much, much worse than that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a good execution. But, again, Hayesville just didn't go with the flow. They they played their gaps. 2nd down at about 13 or 14, a minute 20 to play. And we're going to have a timeout to make sure the offense is on the same page. And we'll take a quick look at the first half stats before we send it back to the station, and we'll do that as we'll give you a quick halftime wrap-up before sending it back to Andy Rogers back at the controls at WBHN 94.1 FM and 1590 AM. And, of course, if you're listening online, you can't watch. No video allowed here at Hayesville High School tonight. So if you're listening online or listening on the station, we appreciate you following Maroon Devil football. As we mentioned earlier, not a whole lot of fans here tonight. And the temperature is expected in the low 30s or down in the 20s, Toby. Might have a little to do with that as well.
I think it does.
A little cold.
Score update for you, Gary. Now in the second quarter, it's 14-7 Murphy leading Robbinsville. Andrew's still up on Rosman at the half, 14-0.
All right, so here we go. Final minute 21 to play in the first half. Damian going to run the quarterback draw. He dropped back like he was going to throw and then took off and made some good things happen. Got basically all 14 of those yards, and it should be a first down with 1:11 to play.
Well-designed play right there. The guard and center turned out on each one, left a little hole right there. The back led him right up through it. And Damian sold just enough of a pass to get the linebackers on their heels and an 11-yard gain again.
Outstanding work by the offensive line. And again, just really good running and execution by our skill people here tonight. First down and 10. Damian rolling to the right. Has pressure. Now steps up. He's going to run. Penalty flag down. A holding call is probably going to bring this back as Damian runs out to the 50.
I think it may have been a face mask as they ran by Damian, to be honest with you. Let's see what the signal is.
Yeah, it is. You're right, Toby.
So we can decline that or take it on the end of the play maybe. And if we take it on the end of the play, then we're going to be in jacket territory with 46 seconds left.
So they are going to mark it off from the 50-yard line. So this should go.
Damian gets to the 50 and then 15 plus that, or is it 5?
It's going to be 15, going to go down to the 35-yard line of Hayesville. So that is a huge play with the run and then the penalty tacked on at the end of the play.
One more play, and the Maroon Devils could get into Gavin Lanning range for at least a field goal here with 2 timeouts left and 43 seconds and counting if they come up short of the end zone.
2 timeouts again, first down and 10. Split backs for Damian. Got twins out here on the left side. Damian throwing down the left side. It's going to be picked off. And it's down the 35-40 down the sideline. Damian's the guy who tackles him, and coming up behind is going to be Charlie Lambert on the pick play over there by the quarterback, Hayden McClure, who saw that one coming. He read that one, Toby. It's kind of like the pass went one way. Our receiver was not looking back, and just basically maybe some miscommunication there.
We've had a couple of different patterns so far tonight. I don't know who's reading that wrong. I'm sure they'll talk about it at halftime, but 23.5 seconds left, so really it kind of minimizes the damage Hayesville can do.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, they might be able to get down and get in field goal range. They might get a touchdown just 41 yards away from it, but it's not like they can put together a long, sustained drive, and they only have 1 timeout left as well.
So now we're trying to get a fresh football into the ball game, if you will. It's not wet, but I'm sure the chill in the air probably providing a little bit of dew out there, even on the artificial turf at the 41-yard line. That's where the Jackets will take over now. They're going to line up with twins on the left side, 1 man in the backfield. The McClure folks running back and quarterback side by side. And this time McClure rolls to his left side, wanting to throw, looking down the right sideline. And down there is Connor Hyatt. And did he catch it, or did the Hayesville receiver catch it? Both had their hands on the ball. It's a wrestling match inside the 9-yard line. And they're going to say it's Hayesville's ball, as Blake McClure was down there, but so was Connor Hyatt.
Well, I stand corrected on the not enough time thing. 21 seconds, they're inside the 10, just like that. So I don't know if they're in field goal range or not, but they're in touchdown range.
But that was a wrestling match for the ball. Both guys now, they just spiked the ball with 17 seconds. They can talk it over a little bit. But, wow, Toby, that was a tough call because Connor Hyatt initially, I think, had the football on the interception. And Blake McClure came in, basically stole it away from him.
Yeah, it looked like Connor had the angle on that. And then all of a sudden, a good play by McClure to take it away from him. And just shows the competitive nature of those two fighting over that ball as they go to the ground, and both of them hanging on to it, making the official make the call.
That's it. Neither guy wanted to give an inch. Here we go. McClure in the shotgun again on first down. Throwing back to the right side. Ball is going to be knocked away. He was hit. It's behind the line of scrimmage, and
They call that a fumble.
They're going to call that a fumble instead of an incomplete pass. And McClure took a shot.
And he's hurt again, Gary.
Yeah, he's shaken up again. Coming in there, I think it was Chase Hughes who might have really came in hard, but that ball came out at.
It's one of those NFL type plays where his hand was moving a little bit forward, but not in the. It was a fumble, is what they called it on the field, and they don't have a video replay, so it's going to be what it stands right there with the injury.
So no tuck rule on that play, huh?
No tuck rule.
But boy, we hope Hayden McClure is going to be okay. He's an outstanding quarterback for the Yellow Jackets. He was shaken up earlier, and he's going to walk off. I think he's going to be okay once he gets the license plate number of that truck. And
he's had a tough night back there. The Maroon Devils have put a bullseye on his back and made it really hard on him to throw the football. And that time it was a throwback pass. He was trying to throw back, but our defense stayed in their lanes, which led McCoy straight to him. I believe it was McCoy that came in and helped Hughes with the lick. And before he could throw it back, he lost the football. They did call it a fumble, recovered by Hayesville, and alertly enough, Jake Langstaff didn't quit playing. He made the tackle. You got to play, not give up on it, and assume that it's an incomplete pass.
Now it's going to be Blake McClure, their running back. He's going to be taking the snap. He's going to hand off, got a reverse. Around the right side, the reverse man throws wide open in the end zone for an easy touchdown to Tyler Anderson. And Toby, you're right. Everybody came up for run support. Anderson wide open in the end zone. Not a soul around him within at least 5-7 yards. So good execution.
I think they're going to go for 2 right here. See how that works. 10, I think it was 10 or 18 that threw that pass. Did you see? I think 10 maybe.
And it was 18 because 10 is Hayden McClure, the regular quarterback. Here comes McClure running right up the gut on the 2-point conversion, and he's going to get it. So with 4.3 seconds, Hayesville adds 8 points in a hurry. And again, that was number 18, Peyton Ivester, who made that play happen in the end zone to Tyler Anderson. So 23-18-17 for the touchdown. And then McClure, the running back, up the gut for 2, as again Hayden McClure shaken up, and we won't see him till maybe the third quarter.
Well, 4 seconds left in the half here. The Maroon Devils just need to fall on it and go into the half and reset. It's been a good half. The Jackets may have picked up just a little bit of momentum right then with that long pass play and then scoring the touchdown on the trick play. But the Maroon Devils have dominated in this first half, to be honest.
Oh, no doubt. You're right. Good momentum builder going into halftime. We'll take a look at some of those stats here in just a minute and bring you the halftime stats before we send it back to the studio with Andy Rogers to take over for you on the radio at halftime. And, of course, we are audio only tonight. No video tonight on the Maroon Devils Network. Not our call, folks. We'd love to be able to bring you the entire package, so to speak, but the folks here at Hayesville say no, following in the steps of the folks at Robbinsville.
Hayesville's Tyler Bunch set to kick off.
So now it's going to be Hayesville to kick off with, again, just over 4 seconds, 4.3. Back deep is going to be Donovan Groenwald. He's going to be the man in the middle. And it's going to be kicked basically right to him at the 15-yard line. He'll bring it back out to the 20, out to the 25, reverses field, breaks a tackle, and is knocked down at the 30-yard line as the clock runs out. And Toby, looking at some of the halftime stats, I have to agree with you. We lead 28-14, and I think those stats are actually going to look even more in our favor at halftime.
Well, so far, the Maroon Devils, 277 yards of total offense. The Jackets, 130. On the ground, we talked about Damian in the pregame, 12 carries, 117 yards, 3 touchdowns. So over 100 yards again for Damian. On the Hayesville side, 4 yards rushing. But through the air, they've been a little bit more productive, being able to throw the football for 117 yards. A lot of it coming on the 71-yard touchdown that they scored there in the first quarter. The Maroon Devils through the air, Damian is 3 of 5 for 70 yards. He's got one to Donovan for 4 yards and then two to Connor for 66 yards with along with 55 there. So the Maroon Devils offensively doing what they need to do and defensively really shutting down the Jackets' run game, forcing them into being one-dimensional and throwing the football. And we'll just have to see how things turn out with the McClure kid at quarterback. If he's able to come back out, we hope he is. Hate to see anybody get hurt, but he took a brutal first half. The Maroon Devil defensive line, they were getting to him without a whole lot of help from the linebackers. So it wasn't good for him. So 14 in the first, 14 in the second for the Maroon Devils to build up a 28-6 lead before the muffed punt put the Jackets in good field position.
So, again, good halftime by our Maroon machine. The line playing outstanding on both sides. 28-14 is our halftime score. Fans, we'll be back with the second half, so stay with us right here on the Maroon Devils Network.
This is Taylor Holt with the Maroon Devils Network. Swain County Schools views athletic participation as an extension of the classroom, where valuable life lessons are taught and learned by student athletes. These lessons are best learned when respect is accorded to all participants: players, coaches, officials, administrators, and other fans. Profanity, sexist, racial, or ethnic comments or other intimidating actions directed at anyone in this contest venue will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from the site of competition. Help us make the right call by exhibiting good sportsmanship throughout the event, regardless of personal feelings or loyalties during the contest. Sportsmanship. Together, we make the right call.
The Smoky Mountain Conference, one of North Carolina's oldest and most storied athletic conferences, producing champions on and off the playing field for decades. The Smoky Mountain Conference. Tradition lives here.
I'm Taylor Holt with the Maroon Devils Network. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. And if you enjoy our videos, please hit the notification bell down below so you can get a notification every time that we upload a video.
Fans, welcome back as we're just about ready to get the second half underway here at Hayesville High School on their senior night. It's a 28-14 Maroon Devil lead at halftime, but we're expecting a very solid second half coming up. I know I saw Hayden McClure down on the sideline, and now it's going to be the Maroon Devils returning the opening kickoff. And Taylor takes it down the sideline, finally caught. He's still going down the sideline, down inside the 35-yard line on the return. And it looked like for a moment he stepped out of bounds up near midfield, but he kept running, and there was never a whistle. So an outstanding return to open up the half. It looks like Colby Taylor takes it all the way inside the 30-yard line here, Toby. And that's the way to open a half.
Absolutely, and that was, I believe that's something the Maroon Devils prepared for during the week, is those short kicks, and then brought it back down in great field position there to the 31 for the Maroon Devils.
So here we go. Damian Lossy is going to be under center, and starting off here to get things underway, it's going to be Mr. Taylor and Mr. Ian Brooks on the backfield. Ian Brooks is going to run first right outside the C gap, and he carries down inside the 20-yard line. He's in there again along with Colby Taylor, who actually ran that kickoff return back with an outstanding job. So it's going to be 33 and 34.
And no huddle again for the Maroon Devils. A little pace.
So keep the momentum going here, as this time it's going to be Connor Hyatt wide to the left side, and coming wide right is going to be Donovan Groenwald. Just underway. Hayesville starts to jump into the A-gap, and now Damian Lossy runs after a hesitation right back up through that A-gap, Toby. So it's almost like he kind of let that linebacker get out of his way, and then he shot through that gap as he carries down inside the 15-yard line. So a good heads-up play by Damian Lossy again. The linebacker jumped right into that gap, and then a split second later, Damian Lossy ran right through that A-gap as he let the linebacker through. This time he's going to be under center, 2nd down and 6. We hand off to the left side, and Taylor's running hard, and boy, a bunch of black and gold Yellow Jackets all over him in there. Leading on the tackle over there for the Yellow Jackets is going to be Adam Leake, one of their senior defensive linemen.
And they are a yard short of a first down. So 3rd and 1 from the 11 right here, and the Maroon Devils have yet to huddle on this drive.
So now, again, Taylor and Brooks in the backfield behind Damian Lossy. A lot of folks up on the line of scrimmage for the Yellow Jackets, but running
Maroon
through,
Devils.
It's going to be touchdown Maroon Devils. So again, Maroon Devils offensive line really dominating the line of scrimmage right now, Toby, because Hayesville had a lot of people up in the box there.
And again, it's one of those things too, Gary, for the Hayesville defense that we talked about offensively for them is not huddling. They have to do a lot more vanilla. They don't get to make substitutions or adjustments unless they do it very quickly. So that pace of play sped up a lot for the Maroon Devils. 2 minutes into the quarter, they're already on the board again.
34-14, 10:22 to play. Getting things underway in the third quarter as the point after touchdown. And we got some people jumping offside. Coming in hard over there is going to be Cable Krager, number 24. And he was in the backfield before the ball got snapped on the PAT. And
Swain will decline it and keep it the same distance for Lanning, so it's nothing unusual for him.
So again, Gavin Lanning kicks it up, and it's going to be good for a 35-14 lead. 10:22 to play. Fans, a lot of football coming up here. We're going to be kicking it back to the Hayesville Yellow Jackets, so keep it right here as we're going to take a break and send it back to the studio on the Maroon Devils Network.
I'm Taylor Holt with the Maroon Devils Network. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. And if you enjoy our videos, please hit the notification bell down below so you can get a notification every time that we upload a video.
Back to live action here at Hayesville High School as the Maroon Devils will kick it back to the Yellow Jackets, and they'll return from the 15-yard line, out across the 25, out across the 30-yard line. Outstanding return for the Yellow Jackets as, again, down on the tackle down there is going to be Thomas Allen. And, again, good work on the return over there by Tyler Anderson, number 17. And he's been a playmaker tonight, Toby, on kickoff returns. We saw him, of course, in the end zone on that their last touchdown in the end zone right before the half. So we got to keep an eye on this kid.
So now the question for the Jackets, who's at quarterback to begin this half?
And McClure is there. He's ready to go. Number 10 is in there, Hayden McClure. He's been shaken up a couple of times, but he's ready to go. Got split backs right beside him. One of those is Blake McClure. And he turns off and hands off to Blake around the right side. Blake turns the corner. Penalty flag is down. Blake down the sideline, breaking tackles. Still going all the way to the Maroon Devil 45-yard line. But a penalty way back upfield is probably going to bring it back on a holding call.
Yeah, there's a reason they got outside on that.
So holding call, and Carl Junaluska in the backfield, the head referee here tonight, puts the yellow flag down on the field here with 10:06 to play in the third quarter.
That was right near the line of scrimmage too, Gary, so it'll set up a second and probably 20 or first and 20 for the Jackets, getting them behind the sticks here to open the second half.
But our defensive and offensive lines, Toby, have been playing really, really solid tonight. Again, got a new man in there, Connor McCoy, getting more playing time tonight with the injured Colby Kirkland unable to play. So, guys are getting it done.
Well, they sure are. Defensively, it's, against the run was dominant. I know Hayesville had to go in at the half and talk about establishing the run and came out with that play to do so because they had 4 yards going in at halftime.
So now, again, as Coach Rod White likes to call it, that wolf front. Big gaps up there between the three guys. And this time they run the other way, and this time it's going to be the quarterback. And this time a very late flag coming in as Hayden McClure runs it. And he's down on the ground again. And he is shaken up again.
That kid is taking a beating tonight, no doubt about it. That was Jake Langston on the tackle. Didn't look like anything drastic out of it, just a good tackle. Let's see what the penalty is. They've yet to give us any kind of sign. The Maroon Devils are moving over to get out of the way, and Jackets are taking a knee. They got a personal foul targeting.
Targeting, wow.
I did not see that, folks.
I didn't either.
I'm just going to be dead blunt. I know you don't get to see it because you're listening to what we have to say, but Jake come across and tackled him from behind with his head. It didn't even look like it made contact to me. I could be dead wrong, though.
And, you know, in college and the NFL level, when they have that targeting call, they immediately go to review and instant replay to look at that. Of course, you know, in the high school level, we don't have that luxury, but everybody at every level takes that very seriously.
Absolutely, and they should.
Yes.
The spirit of the rule is to get the head out of tackling, and believe it or not, the Maroon Devils and Coach Blankenship have done a lot of work on that in the offseason, the beginning of the season, to learn how to re-tackle,
right,
if you will, the correct way. And they've put a lot of effort into that so that you don't see the lowering of the head much anymore at all. out of the Maroon Devils. That's why it's a little bit more of a surprise that we've seen it here. And is that a disqualifying offense in high school football is the question, I believe. And we'll see if that is the case. It was clearly Jake who made the tackle, if that's who they're calling it on. McClure's still down on the field, though.
They're still talking and working on him, and while they do that, we'll take a break in the action. Fans, stay tuned. Injury timeout on the field. We'll be back in 1 minute here on the Maroon Devils Network.
This is Taylor Holt with the Maroon Devils Network. I've got some important information for you guys, so listen up. It is time to pre-order your very own DVD or Blu-ray box set of the 2019 Maroon Devil varsity football season. This action-packed set will include every regular season game, all postseason games, plus a specially edited game highlights program. You can choose either DVDs or Blu-ray discs for the same low price of just $30 per set. Go to www.maroondevils.com and click Store to place your order. Get all of the action and excitement of the 2019 varsity football season to enjoy in the comfort of your own home for years to come. So what are you waiting for? Go now. Go to www.maroondevils.com to get your own piece of Maroon Devil history.
Sure. Fans, welcome back. The penalty against the Maroon Devils, illegal contact to the helmet, but again, there's no disqualification. We're ready to go. First down for the Yellow Jackets, and they only need about 3 out to the left side, out to the 40-yard line. The ball popped out, but it looks like McClure, who carried, was down when the ball came bobbling out. So now it's going to bring up second down and about a yard for the Yellow Jackets.
That was a 1-yard gain right there by McClure. Good job by Thomas Allen and Cody Long to plug that hole up over there immediately and get him to the ground. They're going to get a first down out of that.
Yep, going to get a very favorable spot as they're going to spot it at the 41. And so first down, Yellow Jackets here. Third quarter, 8:45 to play. 35-14, Maroon Devils in the lead. This time Jackets 4 wide, 3 on the one side. Got some safety help over there with the man-to-man coverage, and they run to the right side, out across the 40-yard line, but nowhere to run to. As again, carrying on the ball that time is going to be Peyton Ivester, but no gain on the play. Second down and 10. Outstanding play up there again by Jake Langston and company. And they are really not allowing the Yellow Jackets to get outside tonight, Toby. I know it's been tough between the tackles, but not much around the ends either.
Well, you're exactly correct. And Ivester was just trying to do a basic sweep around the right side with blockers in front of him, and it didn't get anywhere. Lost maybe a half a yard.
This time they're going to run to the right side again, and this time McClure does turn the corner before he's knocked out of bounds, and now there could be I
don't know if we got a late flag out of that or not.
Didn't see a flag come flying in. There was some activity over there on the Maroon Devil sideline, but no flag. As again, we're seeing Peyton Ivester now take a couple of snaps in the backfield for the Hayesville Yellow Jackets as they're working on McClure over here on the sideline. So again, Peyton Ivester in there taking the snaps right now in the backfield at quarterback.
That was Blake McClure on the carry. He got about 7 that time before he's chased out of bounds. The problem that upset the Hayesville folks over here is the tackle was out of bounds on the sideline, but Thomas Allen was engaged with him as they went out of bounds, and they went to the ground. I don't know that there was anything overtly malicious in it at all.
Ivester back to throw. He's in trouble, and he's going to go down. Nick Millsaps got him as he was in there putting pressure on him. Jake Langston also, but Nick just basically wrestled him to the ground for a huge sack back at the 39. Fourth down and 12 now on that loss on the play.
Well, score from Murphy now. The Black Knights have taken the lead 17-14 with 5:09 left in the third, following a blocked Murphy punt, which the Knights recovered at the 9-yard line of the Bulldogs and scored on a 4-yard keeper from their quarterback to take the lead.
Man, that's a heck of a game going on there, huh? Back and forth.
They do seem to have a They recovered the fumble on the opening kickoff of the second half, and they settled for a 33-yard field goal. That's why it was 14-10.
Blake McClure kicks one again. Really, really high. Big hang time and no return. And it's going to be blown dead at the 33-yard line. But, man, this guy, he kicks it to the moon, and then it comes back down. So, as you mentioned, Toby, before, the Hayesville punt team could actually go down there and call a fair catch. But I guess you can't do that. So.
The Maroon Devils were nowhere near at that time. They got away from it. They got bit once that way. They're just going to let it roll.
Yeah, that's a dangerous punt to try to get under because, again, the hang time is just unbelievable.
Pretty sound strategy to just let it roll and turn it over to your red-hot offense and let them do their thing.
Let the guys who have been doing a good job take over. 35-14 our score. 7 minutes to play as Groenwald goes in motion. He hits Damian Lossey as he goes by, and he heads off to the right side. But, boy, Hayesville is in this hole this time. Coming in there to plug it is going to be Will DeFee, their sophomore defensive lineman, and just nowhere to run to on that play. Carson Taylor, they really jammed the gap very well.
Gain of 1 out of it, believe it or not.
Yeah.
As they stacked it up pretty good right there and made life hard for the Maroon Devils, who were able to get enough of a line surge that time to get to a yard.
And right now, Hayesville kind of staying with their basic 4-4 defense, if you will. A 44 look, then 3 defensive backs, 2nd down and 9. Damian Lossey fires, got Groenwald out on the left sideline, and he's going to get the first down as he's chased out of bounds out across the 45-yard line. Nice play and good run after the catch.
That was one of those semi-bubble screens that had Connor Hite going down and blocking on the Hayesville defender, and then Donovan had to beat one man out of that, his man, and he had some open running before he was run out of bounds. Good job getting out in open space with skilled players on that play.
So this time Connor goes wide left, Donovan coming wide right. And our tight end over there on the right side, Jake Langston. He's been a force on both sides tonight as well. As this time, here comes Damian Lossey into the secondary again. He is so quick. He gets over there to the left side. He just kind of reads the defense and how they're flowing, Toby, and he cuts right back kind of against the grain and finds that little seam, if you will, to run through.
Well, that time the Hayesville defense was all in the backfield and took the pitch away, so Damian just pulled it away and tucked it and ran right by the defensive line as they were coming in.
That's it. It's almost like they overran the play as Lossey turns it into a good gain. 2nd down and 2 now at the 47-yard line. Hayesville showing blitz. Here comes Taylor right up the gut, has the first down to the 44-yard line of Hayesville.
Well, there's a lot of
and he's kind of shaken up too, looks like.
I think that's
that's going to be Taylor. This time it's going to be Colby Taylor, 34. He was down, and he's shaken up some. He's not exactly 100% as he goes off the field slowly. He got he took a shot, and he's holding his right leg, but he's also now he's rubbing his leg, but he's also shaking his head like he got a hit to the helmet. But Kerry Powell over there working on him as here we go. 1st down and 10. And this time, not much room as Hayesville jams it up. But, I keep saying that, Toby, not much room. But then the sticks move 2 or 3 yards down the field.
That's the offensive line blowing people back on the initial contact. That was a linebacker who scraped over the top to try to take that outside veer away. So the Maroon Devils will have to find a different veer lane to run as they're taking that outside one away. They had good success with that early in this quarter, but now they may have to go back to the original mesh point inside and see what they get because the linebackers have moved off of the center again.
So now,
go ahead, leaving the quarterback sneak open as well.
2nd down and 8 now. 2-yard pickup by Ian Brooks. Pitch to the backfield. Boy, Damian barely got that ball away. Gets it back to Taylor. Stiff arm at the 35. Out across the 30-yard line before he's dragged out of bounds. And there's going to be a late penalty flag as number 9, Seth Gillis. He had him out of bounds, but then he decided to go ahead and keep tackling him. And there's a late hit out of bounds over there as well. But, again, Damian lucky to get that ball back to Carson Taylor because, Toby, he took a shot, and it almost messed up the pitch.
It was a blind pitch.
Yeah.
Really and truly. I mean, he couldn't see. He just pitched it where he thought Taylor was, and Taylor did a good job running an open field with good stiff arm out there to get extra yardage.
Yes, indeed. So right now, 35-14, as the penalty is going to be tagged on at the end of the play, and this is going to put the ball down inside the 20-yard line. And boy, the believe us, the Yellow Jacket fans are not happy as the ball is going to be spotted at the 15. Of course, this is senior night. One thing about it, Hayesville has had a solid season. 7-3 overall, 3-2 in conference play. They're assured of a playoff spot coming up, so I know they're getting ready for play next Friday night. This time, Damian under center, split backs again. And, boy, the running's getting tough as Damian carries for a couple of yards down to the 13-yard line.
That was that straight-ahead quarterback sneak that we talked about with the linebacker scraping off to the outside. That's open. And they deked on that one and stayed home, so they met Damian just as he came through, and he was able to spin for a yard or two is all he got out of that. But good job defensively by the Jackets to give a look and then take it away.
This time, Hayesville man-to-man coverage on Donovan and Connor. Connor wide right, Donovan wide left. And this time, going to run just straight up the gut. Nice hard running again. This time down to about the 4, just inside the 4-yard line. And Ian Brooks running hard like he always does. Toby, when you hand the ball off to him, you know he's gonna punish somebody.
Well, they adjusted the veer lane back inside between the guard and tackle again and got big yardage out of that because the linebacker is vacating to come around and take the quarterback in the outside veer. And that time Ian ripped ahead for about a 10-yard gain.
Nice run by Ian Brooks. Damian Lossy is going to hand off to him again, and looks like he's in the end zone. Is he going to get the touchdown? Well, yes, there is the very delayed signal by the officials, but it is the score with 3:09 to play. It's a 41-14 Maroon Devil lead.
Shouldn't have been much of a delay. Ian was in the back of the end zone handing the official the football. That should have tipped him off that he was in.
I know. It's really slow getting the signal as to the score. So now the point after touchdown coming on is Gavin Lanning, our sophomore. Connor Hyatt doing a good job holding this year. Good hands man. Gets the snap and the hold, and it's going to be up and good. And it's a 42-14 Maroon Devil lead. 3:09 to play, third quarter. Stay with us. We'll return in 1 minute here on the Maroon Devils Network.
This is Taylor Holt with the Maroon Devils Network. I've got some important information for you guys, so listen up. It is time to pre-order your very own DVD or Blu-ray box set of the 2019 Maroon Devil varsity football season. This action-packed set will include every regular season game, all postseason games, plus a specially edited game highlights program. You can choose either DVDs or Blu-ray discs for the same low price of just $30 per set. Go to www.maroondevils.com and click Store to place your order. Get all of the action and excitement of the 2019 varsity football season to enjoy in the comfort of your own home for years to come. So what are you waiting for? Go now. Go to www.maroondevils.com to get your own piece of Maroon Devil history.
Fans, welcome back as our kickoff man, Aiden Pond, ready to kick it. And there has been some good return tonight. This one, though, is going to be still on the ground inside the 15-yard line. So just a tough return here for the Yellow Jackets this time, as nobody could really get a handle on it. And they finally carry it back out across the 15. But again, I want to give a shout-out to 3 Maroon Devil ladies who are going to be competing in the cross-country state championships. 2 ladies and 1 guy. My bad. Okay, yeah. Amelia Rogers, Gracie Menteith, and Austin Sansucci. Congratulations to Amelia, Gracie, and Austin as they're going to be competing downstate in the cross-country state championships.
And best of luck.
Yes, indeed.
Bring back some gold.
Hey, bring back some gold. And not too many people can say they are state champions, but they have a shot at that tomorrow, don't they?
Well, all 3 of those are freshmen, so it's a great opportunity to go down and learn and to what you got to do to get better. And be able to.
Here's McClure reversing field. He's into the secondary. Down the sideline, it's going to be a foot race. Only one man to beat. He had to stop. He cuts back against the grain, and this time it's going to be caught down there. It's going to be Lucas Brown and company back in the secondary. Also back there to help out on the tackle looks like was Gage Jones, but boy, McClure was off to the races before he cut back in and was tackled way downfield at the 20-yard line.
It's another example, Gary, of doing your job and a good running back doing his job. Everybody in the Maroon Devils had the offside, the side it was supposed to go to, cut off, and McClure just turned and went backside and found himself all alone.
Some good blocking over there to allow him to turn that left side corner. And again, Ivester taking the snaps, throwing in the end zone. It's going to be... It looks like it's caught, and they're going to say it's complete at the 1-yard line.
Great catch over there.
Outstanding catch, as again, the quarterback again is Peyton Ivester, who's playing in for the injured McClure, who's actually warming up back over here on the side. No, check that. He's not warming up on the sideline. But again, Ivester is in at the quarterback spot and an outstanding throw and catch, Toby, as you mentioned.
Yeah, I thought Gage had undercut that route for a second, but the ball was thrown in a position where nobody could get it but his guy. And he went and got it on the 1-yard line, getting both feet in bounds down there and setting the Jackets up.
Cable Krieger with a catch. This time he's wide right. This time they hand it off to McClure. He's in the end zone. He goes in, standing up with the football. So Yellow Jackets answer right back with 2:18 to play here in the third quarter for a 42-20 score here on senior night. And we've got some fireworks as well here to add to the celebration of the Yellow Jacket touchdown. And again, both these teams next Friday night are going to be playing in the state playoffs.
Hopefully both of them at home.
Oh, that would be wonderful if we can both be at home next Friday. Hayesville in 1A, Maroon Devils in 1AA. Coming on for the PAT is going to be, it looks like a Kylan Bunch, a 6'3 senior. As he lines up to add the point after touchdown. And the kick is a line drive, but it goes through. And, hey, those count just like the high kind do. 42-21, our score. Maroon Devils in the lead. We'll be back in 1 minute. Stay with us right here on the Maroon Devils Network.
This is Taylor Holt with the Maroon Devils Network. I've got some important information for you guys, so listen up. It is time to pre-order your very own DVD or Blu-ray box set of the 2019 Maroon Devil varsity football season. This action-packed set will include every regular season game, all postseason games, plus a specially edited game highlights program. You can choose either DVDs or Blu-ray discs for the same low price of just $30 per set. Go to www.maroondevils.com and click Store to place your order. Get all of the action and excitement of the 2019 varsity football season to enjoy in the comfort of your own home for years to come. So what are you waiting for? Go now. Go to www.maroondevils.com to get your own piece of Maroon Devil history.
And it's going to be an onside kick by the Hayesville Yellow Jackets, but the ball is still loose, and there's a penalty flag thrown up in the air. We'll see if Hayesville, they're saying Swain County High School has the football here. As again, it went through several guys, and looks like 4 or 5 guys had a shot at it, Toby, but Maroon Devils come up with the football.
They picked the flag up, whatever the flag was, so we don't know.
Yeah, the Carl Junaluska threw the flag way back downfield, but picked it up, so no penalty. We're going to start at the 41, outstanding field position on the attempted onside kick by the Yellow Jackets, but Devils have the football. Connor Hyatt wide right in the slot right inside him. It's going to be Donovan Groenwald, and this time the tight end, Jake Langston, goes to the left side. A little different look. And here comes Damian Lossy running right in behind Ian Brooks, but not very far as they knock him backwards. A good penetration coming up there for the Yellow Jackets, Ethan Smith.
by number 52, Adam Lee.
2-yard gain, though.
Yeah. So still, again, that positive yards, and both teams are playing physical. There's a lot of shots going on out there tonight as both teams are hitting really hard. 2nd down and 8 now with 1:45 to play here in the third quarter. And again, congratulations to and best of luck to Amelia Rogers, Gracie Smith, and Austin Sansucci as they.
Gracie Menteith.
Yes, indeed, Gracie Menteith. And we hope they have a big, big day tomorrow. This time, strong side right, 2nd down and 8. Damian pitches in the backfield. Oh, Taylor's not going to have anywhere to go, and Hayesville arrives in droves as he's going to be stopped for a loss at the 40-yard line. And again, that has only happened, I think, 2 or 3 times tonight that Hayesville has actually thrown us for negative yards in our running game.
And that was a situation where Taylor had been better off just running instead of stopping and trying to make a move there, and it ended up costing him yardage. So the first time the Devils were behind the sticks in a while, they've not punted at all tonight. Now they're facing 3rd and 11 from just around their own 40-yard line. And we'll see what Coach McMahon on the offensive side dials up here.
So now Maroon Devils, 35 seconds and counting. This time we got Connor wide left, Donovan Groenwald wide left, and wide right this time. It's going to be the tight end. Jake hasn't been wide much tonight. Damian, we got whistles.
We took a timeout because we were out of sorts. We didn't get set over there properly before the ball was snapped, and Coach McMahon very alertly went ahead and signaled timeout to get some things together here.
Yeah, I thought it was unusual, as I mentioned, Toby. Jake Langston splitting out wide to the right side this time. I don't think we've seen Jake splitting out wide tonight at all so far.
Well, they're into the fourth quarter now over in Murphy with the Black Knights still on top 17-14. Final now from Andrews. The Wildcats have defeated Rosman 21-0. So big win over in Wildcat country as we're still in the third quarter.
Yep.
Barely.
And again, Maroon Devils again over there on the sideline. We see some of the guys who aren't suited up tonight. We see Colby Kirkland over there, 66. We see 63. Bubba Peterson is actually dressed out, but again, Colby over there just with his jersey on, and we hope he's going to be back for the playoffs that begin next Friday, and we'll know by sometime tomorrow afternoon who we're going to play and maybe more importantly where we're going to play. I know a lot of folks want a home playoff game, but we'll see what the NCHSAA will decide with their selections tomorrow. Lossy to throw, pump fake, fires down the right sideline, double coverage, and it's caught by Donovan Groenwald.
What a catch.
Double coverage, and he caught it anyway.
What a catch, what a throw. Right on the sideline, Donovan, the only one who could catch that, and he goes up and two-hands it at the point right there, gets out of bounds, way down, and now we got Hayesville coaches coming after the side official over here. It's on the 25-yard line of the Jackets, so big – no, check that, 24-yard line of the Jackets, so big game for the Maroon Devils there.
And again, what a catch by Donovan Groenwald as Damian, good throw, and again, double coverage on Donovan. This time Connor wide right, Donovan wide left, split backs behind Damian. Here comes the linebacker right up into the A gap, and that's where Damian tries to run. And boy, the contact is getting very physical out there as Damian gets a yard or two. And that's going to be the end of the third quarter. Our score, 42-21 here at Hayesville High School. One more quarter left to play in this 2019 regular season, fans. We'll be back in 1 minute here on the Maroon Devils Network.
The Smoky Mountain Conference, one of North Carolina's oldest and most storied athletic conferences, producing champions on and off the playing field for decades. The Smoky Mountain Conference. Tradition lives here.
Fans, welcome back as we're getting ready to start the fourth quarter here tonight at Hayesville High School. And right now the officials are still deciding about a penalty flag that was thrown. The Hayesville fans have been incredibly vocal to the officials tonight.
We've got a flag on the Jackets sideline for sideline warning would be my guess, and that's just going to get picked up.
Yeah.
And no harm on that. They're not satisfied, and they're expressing their displeasure. But as I said in the break, you know, you don't need to get your kids fired up to do something that they might regret next week when you've got a playoff game here, most likely for the first time in a very long time. You want to stay calm and
that's it.
Play it out.
That's it. Play it out. Get ready for next week. 2nd down and 9. Maroon Devils hand off left side. And boy, Damian barely got the handoff over there and carrying just inside the 20-yard line. Again, this time it's going to be Colby Taylor. And there's another late flag. We got somebody on the field saying things they shouldn't say. And it's going to be unsportsmanlike against the Maroon Devils.
I didn't see anybody around a Hayesville player. I could have just missed it as I was watching the spot of the ball, but we'll know soon enough here. Charlie Lambert is the one who's leaving the ball game, so I would have to imagine it was something Charlie said or did that's getting him stern talking to by the Swain staff over there right now. It's going to be a 15-yard penalty, and it was 3rd and 5. Now it'll be 3rd and a long, long ways.
Unsportsmanlike conduct is the call, pushing the Maroon Devils back.
And again, I didn't see, honestly, anything.
It had to be something he said.
Yeah.
And from his reaction and the coach's reaction, they weren't happy about it.
So now 3rd down. Maroon Devils at the 34-yard line at Hayesville. And I tell you, this late third quarter, early fourth quarter has been a multitude of penalties that are hopefully not letting this game get out of hand that gets people doing, as you mentioned, Toby, bad things with the playoffs coming up next week. Don't want to get anybody tossed out of the game that could force them to miss a playoff game. Hayesville blitzing. Damian rolling to the right away from the blitz. Firing behind his receiver, though. It's going to be incomplete at the 30-yard line. And again, Damian, I think, saw that blitz coming and rolled away from it, but threw behind Ian Brooks.
Yeah, he was trying to dump that off and just get rid of it. It's going to force a punt right here by the Devils. This deep in Jacket territory from the 34. Lossie's going to drop back to punt it. And Jackets got some folks back there, but
yeah, Damian just tried to kick it high and pin him down inside the 10. And again, nobody really back there to return. I think they probably have in their mind that Damian might not punt it at all.
And we got a whistle on the play, a flag offsides on Hayesville.
Yes.
So that'll move it 5 yards further up for the Maroon Devils.
And again, boy, a lot of folks in the crowd are really riled up with the penalty situation and the penalty flags, as well as we can hear the response from right below us here on the press box.
And the Maroon Devil offense is going to come back out on the field now with it 4th and 14, a little more manageable than 4th and 19. So from this point, the Maroon Devils are going to roll the dice and give it a shot.
And, trying to punt here, Toby, is really tough anyway. You've got such a short field.
Yeah.
Just not much room unless you can do like Blake McClure of Hayesville, who's been very good at it, kick it very high.
Yeah. If it goes straight up, it's a win in that situation.
Damian Lossie to throw. Firing for the end zone. Down there looks like Connor, and looks like he has it. Did he stay in bounds? He's got it at the 2-yard line.
Wow.
In double, almost triple coverage back there as well. What a catch.
And that was one for Connor and one for Donovan on outstanding catches.
And plenty of coverage as well.
And a first down, and it's going to be at the Jacket 1-yard line. So he went out of bounds, both feet in bounds, catching it, falling backwards.
What a
nice
play.
job. It's a shame you guys can't see it. It was a great catch.
Outstanding catch.
It'll make the highlights, Joe says, so hang on.
Right on the sideline. Here we go. Damian Lossy behind center, and he goes in quickly as he kind of started and then kind of jetted outside past the left tackle and puts it on the board with 10.5 minutes to play here. But this game kind of now all of a sudden in the last few minutes kind of stalled here with all the penalty flags.
It did, but the Maroon Devils with a couple of huge plays there from Damian Lossy to receivers, Grunwald and Hyatt out there making big plays. And we said early on, that they're going to be in a lot of one-up coverage. But both of those catches were in double coverage, Gary, which is the most impressive thing.
Absolutely. And covered very well, and both catches right on the sideline. Now it's going to be Gavin Lanning coming in for the PAT conversion, and he boots this one up and in. And we'll go to a timeout with our score. Maroon Devils in the lead, 49-21. We'll be back in 1 minute. Keep it right here on the Maroon Devils Network.
I'm Taylor Holt with the Maroon Devils Network. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. And if you enjoy our videos, please hit the notification bell down below so you can get a notification every time that we upload a video.
Fans, welcome back here. 10:34 to play. Still a lot of time here in the fourth quarter as our Maroon Devils will kick it back now. Aiden Pond ready to boot it back to the Hayesville Yellow Jackets, who have had some very good returns tonight. Let's see what Aiden's strategy is as he approaches the football. Kicks it down the right side. Going to be taken at the 19-yard line. One of the upbacks, and now in pursuit and getting him from behind is going to be Jake Langston. He got Seth Gillis, number 9, for the Yellow Jackets, and literally chased him down from behind for an outstanding open field tackle over there along with Andrew Chavez. And Toby, you talked about Chavez. He has been an outstanding special teams player many times this year.
He does a great job getting down in his lane and staying in that lane, making plays.
And that's the key.
It is the key. The Jackets now with a long way to go here with 10 minutes left to go in this one. Maroon Devils are in control of this. It's just going to be a question of what we can do defensively the rest of the way.
Long count by the Yellow Jackets. They fake to McClure. Rolling to the left side. Firing way downfield. It's going to be a jump ball, and we're going to have a penalty flag. The ball was knocked away. There may be interference down there. Lucas Brown, the deep cover guy, as the ball really hung up. As, again, the quarterback, Peyton Ivester, who has come on to play for the injured Hayden McClure.
And there was some hand fighting there, and Lucas is going to get the brunt of that every time in the high school level. Probably in the NFL, that was nowhere near. Well, we don't have a clue what pass interference is in the NFL anymore. Let's be honest, folks.
And neither do they.
No, they don't.
Ask the New Orleans Saints how they got railroaded on a pass interference call last year.
My theory is in New York, they have a slot machine, and they pull the slot every time there's a pass interference. And if it comes up jackpot, then it's pass interference. If it's not, then they just look at you and go, sorry, it's lemons.
That's it.
Yeah,
it's lemons. Oh, man, but you're right. Pass interference in the NFL is just a guessing game. First down and 10. Yellow Jackets at their 39 after the interference call. One man in motion. That's going to be Kyle Lunsford. And this time, the quarterback is going to take it right up the gut, but he's in trouble as he's going to be jammed up at the line of scrimmage for no gain on the play. Talking about Peyton Ivester. The snap got a little high, but he pulled it down. But right there in the middle of the pile, Jake Langston and Ian Brooks.
Small loss.
Nowhere to go. 2nd and 10. But, Toby, as you mentioned, a lot of possibilities, especially for our Maroon Devils, who look like we're going to be the number 3 seed out of the Smoky Mountain Conference. Of course, we'll be in the 1AA, the big 1A, if you will, to see how that part of the bracket shakes out. This time around the right side, got some. Now we're going to have a late penalty flag over here as McClure is forced out over here on the right side by Thomas Allen, and now we're going to have another flag added on to the end of that play.
That is on Hayesville's bench.
Yeah. So now
they got what they wanted, but they couldn't resist the fact that the line judge on this side did not throw it. So they went after him, and he threw everything he had. If he'd had a neckerchief, he'd have thrown it.
Yeah, personal foul against the Maroon Devils for the hit out of bounds.
I think.
And now they're deciding if there is indeed going to be another penalty. There was another flag thrown. But so now the officials, all of them, are over here talking with the Hayesville coaches.
Carl G. Lusk is talking with Coach McClure and getting everything straight on what he's got foul-wise there. And I think they're just going to wave off the bench warning and let it go at that and give the hit out of bounds on Swain.
Yep, that's all that's going to be called. There is not going to be another penalty, even though there was another flag thrown.
So the side official's telling him now through 2 flags, and he's telling him it doesn't matter.
Yep. So he picks up his flag, and it looked really there. I thought it was going to be offsetting penalties, but they're not going to call apparently that second.
So they're going to hold up here. Here's the calls. That's personal foul on us, late hit out of bounds, and sideline warning on them.
There it is.
They nullify each other.
Yep, so they do call that second penalty, and it is going to be offsetting penalties.
Now there's an entire Hayesville coaching staff is congregated around this line judge on their sideline. They have called timeout right here.
So some unhappy folks in Hayesville, to say the least, with 9:33 to play, and a lot of them are in the stands right below us as we can.
And Coach McClure is calling his whole team over there to talk to him about holding, being calm. And I'm sure Coach Blankenship will do much of the same over there. He's already taken Jake Langston out, who was flagged for that penalty, out of bounds. But, folks, it wasn't an egregious hit over here.
No.
It was they were tangled up again, and McClure went down, and they threw the flag.
That's
and
exactly
that's
what
okay.
happened.
You know, they're going to do that sometimes, and we'll take that. But
right now, cooler heads need to prevail to avoid anybody not getting to play next Friday.
Yeah, and I don't think that was anything that Jake did that was, just egregious or unsportsmanlike in my estimation.
Nope.
But Coach Blankenship took him out of the ball game because the penalty was on him, and now I think he's going back in at this point since everything offsetted, and They've got the ball back here on the 30-yard line, but Coach McClure again is talking to the officials, trying to get it squared away, what we're doing here, and get everything back in order. And
oh, boy.
He's showing great judgment that they've got bigger fish to fry next week, and they need to get control of themselves and be smart right here. So let's hope that's the case for both teams right here. As you said earlier, they both got a lot at stake next week.
Yeah.
There's no point in hurting yourself moving forward.
That's it. Don't want to get any players ejected that will cause them to miss next Friday.
Absolutely. Actually, I think it's 2 games if you get ejected.
There you go. So, but boy, this game is really stalled here. Late third quarter, early fourth quarter. 9:33 still to play. 3rd down and 9. Now we're finally back to playing football at the 40-yard line. And again, this time at quarterback is going to be Logan Caldwell. And a penalty flag is down as he runs out of bounds at the 42-yard line. So, again, they put Caldwell back there to play quarterback.
And it's a hold against Hayesville.
Going to have a holding call against the Yellow Jackets. And
the gain was 2 right there, so Coach Blankenship may waive that hold off and force a 4th down and see what they do. Or he may elect to go ahead and make it 3rd and 20. He does. He's going to move them back, figuring they're going to go for it on 4th down anyway. So might as well move them back 10 yards and let them go for it on 3rd and 4th from there.
So while this game has kind of gotten ugly, just to be honest, here in the last few minutes, Maroon Devils in control, but it's just penalty after penalty, and it's just not a whole lot of fun, if you know what I mean. I'm sure the players are frustrated as well because the game has just kind of stopped. And they've got a great game going on up the road in Murphy.
Trying to get a score on that one.
And that one was close, I think 17-14 the last we heard, but I think Murphy might have had the football late with a chance to come back and either tie. And now we got another timeout called by Hayesville with 9:02 to play. And again, we want to wish our cross-country folks the best tomorrow. Amelia Rogers, Gracie Menteith, and Austin Sansucci as they compete tomorrow in the cross-country state championships. And we wish them all the best as they compete tomorrow. So, and it's hard to believe, guys, but I know football playoffs start next Friday, but I know a lot of basketball guys are practicing as well, getting ready for their season.
Yeah, that's
and
fired
girls,
up.
And girls.
The basketball and wrestling seasons are fired up. They've started practice. I think our first basketball game is December 6th, somewhere in that neighborhood, and open up with conference play, so they jump right into it right away.
Yeah, I was talking to athletic director and head basketball coach Mike Cottrell here at Hayesville tonight, and he said, yeah, they've pushed theirs back, I think he said maybe December 1, anticipating playoffs as well. So
right.
Everybody looking for more football here in 2019. Running straight ahead, Yellow Jackets stay on the ground at the 33-yard line. And this time on the carry is going to be William Wimpy, a junior, one of his first carries tonight.
So it's 4th and 16 or so. Looks like the Jackets are going to punt.
And boy, McClure has been kicking them extremely high. Incredible hang time. But he is not on to punt right now. Coming on to punt right now looks like actually Avery Leatherwood, the son of assistant coach Frank Leatherwood. Avery, a freshman. And just like his dad, plays tight end and linebacker.
Well, they don't have enough players out there in this mock-up. They're trying to get another one on the field, and they do.
Going to have to hurry down to 3, 2, 1. And they do get the snap away, so no delay of game. There's going to be no return. It's going to bounce. Actually, a Maroon Devil bounce, as back there at a return was Cameron Blankenship. But our Maroon Devils will take over now. First down and 10, 8:04 still to play, with the Maroon Devils on top 49-21.
Not got an update on the Murphy-Robbinsville situation anytime soon. Let's see if we check it again here and see what we got.
Obviously, the winner is going to be the number 1 seed from the Smoky Mountain Conference, the loser, number 2 seed. And that's a battle of the two teams with undefeated conference records. And now coming on is going to be Gabe Lillard. He's going to be quarterbacking for the Maroon Devils here. And a bunch of new folks up front. Looks like, from what we can tell, an entirely new offensive line in the ball game right now.
Same for Hayesville. I believe they've got some fresh folks in there as well.
So a lot of new folks in there getting playing time, and that's good to see, getting ready for the playoffs. On the carry this time, it's going to be, looks like Andrew Chavez. Some of the linemen in there for the Maroon Devils. Looks like we have Connor Driver. We have Sam Bernheisel. We'll try to check this also in there right now is 56, Michael Winchester, one of our seniors. Bren Jackson, a junior. And again, we'll try to get numbers and players as we can. Now coming in, looks like Cameron Blankenship is going to be coming in with a play from the sideline. He's going to come wide to the left side, wide right. It's going to be Robert Green. And again, then Lillard is going to be your quarterback. And right behind him, coming straight ahead, looks like it's going to be Carson Taylor running for the Maroon Devil backfield.
Gary, I do have one final of interest for Swain folks, probably in that Charlotte Christian, is that right?
Yes.
Has defeated Christ School 38-21 in that state championship game. So tough break for the Greenies, but a great season.
And that's the second year in a row, I think, they have lost to that same team in the state championship game.
So tough luck for them, but that's the final from wherever that was played at.
Yeah, that's again, that's a tough break. Navy Schuler and will end his high school football career before moving up the mountain to Boone, North Carolina to put on the black and gold for Appalachian State. Now we got a penalty flag, got folks moving. John Parton now in the ball game for the Maroon Devils in the backfield. As we mentioned, Andrew Chavez and Carson Taylor. But Navy has had quite a high school career following in his dad's shoes, obviously.
He has.
He has a ton of yards. And from talking to his dad, Heath, I know he had a really good visit and really felt good about going to Appalachian State to play for the Mountaineers. Coming in now, Carter Kirkland for the Maroon Devil offense. So we wish Navy nothing but the best as he will now focus on the next level. Split backs and coming straight ahead again this time. A lot of folks in there still tackling hard and playing hard, and that's good to see on both sides of the ball as Chavez carries this time for the Maroon Devils as the clock is running with 5:53 and counting.
Still no score from Robbinsville Murphy. Things must have got really intense over there with those guys because nobody's posted anything here in the last little while. So they must be really engrossed in whatever's happening on both sides because neither side's posted a thing. So
yeah, I tell you, not much love lost there either, is there?
No.
Is there? Between Robbinsville and Murphy. No. Not a whole lot of love lost. All right, split backs again, one wide on each side. Hayesville blitzing, and the Maroon Devils running between the tackles for a couple of yards out to the 42-yard line of Hayesville. That's going to bring up third down and roughly 5 to go. Checking in now is going to be Seth Schuler. Speaking of Schuler's in the lineup. Wearing number 13 now. 5 minutes to play here on senior night at Hayesville High School as they honored their seniors in pregame activities. Also coming in, John Parton back in. And he's bringing the play literally from the sideline.
Well, there's still 14 on the play clock, so the Maroon Devils would love to see it inch all the way down to 5, 4, 3, or 2 before they snap it here.
Oh, we got the left guard jumping offside just a little bit early over there, so that'll back us up 5. That's big Connor Driver. He's a big sophomore, 6 foot, 250-pounder. And, Toby, we lose our entire offensive line, and these guys play defensive line as well. So, we got to get some linemen trained up and ready to go. These guys that are in the game now have done a good job over the course of the season. When they've gotten their opportunities, they've looked really well. So things may be okay. Because a lot of our skilled people are going to be coming back, and there's a good skilled guy there talking about number 10, Gabe Lillard, who is going to be the backup, I'm sure, next year for one Damian Lossey at quarterback, as Damian will be a senior. Got another penalty flag on the field, and we've seen too many of those here tonight.
Well, there's been a bunch, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And this one's holding on the Maroon Devils.
Yep.
So it's going to back us up 10 from the 48. Be 3rd and 20 or so.
Now in the ball game, Trip Peterson, number 41, one of our juniors. So, again, we try to give all the guys credit for coming in and getting some playing time here on a Friday night. And, of course, a lot of our new faces moved up from the JV ranks. Carter Kirkland coming back in with the play from the sideline now. And he'll come out wide to the left side. Wide right is going to be Robert Green, a true senior. We have 13 seniors on this squad playing their final regular season game. And this time it's going to be one of the young men, Carson Taylor, a sophomore on the carry as the clock runs down to 3:40 and counting.
So it'll be 4th down right here. Let's see if the Maroon Devils opt to take the play clock all the way down and then punt it.
Both our Maroon Devils and the Yellow Jackets looking forward to next week. And
sounds like
playoffs.
A final from Murphy, Robbinsville 17-14 winner.
Wow.
That's what they've said here in the press box. I'm still looking for it.
Defensive battle there, 17-14, much like our battle with Murphy that was 15-14. So, wow. So Robbinsville, if that's the case, will be the Smoky Mountain Conference champions, and I don't think they lost a game the entire season, regular or conference.
Correct.
I think they will finish the season undefeated, and if that's the case, if they did win, they'll move in and have some...
It is a final.
It is a final, so that means, unlike last year when Murphy knocked Robbinsville out of the playoffs in the Western Regional Final, this time if that happens again, Murphy's going to have to go to Robbinsville.
Correct.
As Robbinsville will have the number 1 seed, Murphy number 2, Swain 3, Hayesville 4. Out of the Smoky Mountain Conference, we expect probably Andrews will get a playoff seed, probably Cherokee. Not sure about Rosman, but most of the teams in the league will.
One of the scores from downstate that we're interested in, East Surrey is now on top of Mount Airy, 42-10. East Surrey would finish undefeated in the regular season and most likely be the number 1 seed in the 1AA as they're the
Here's a punt by the Maroon Devils, and this one goes kind of high, hits a Maroon Devil player, and didn't go very deep off the foot of Cody Long.
Connor Hyatt downed it on the 47 because it hit him in the back.
So, anyway, with 2:48 to play, the Yellow Jackets will get it back here, Toby. But it's, you talk about the seniors, and it's hard to believe, but this is their final regular season game. And our seniors, of course, are Lucas Brown, Connor Hyatt, Robert Green, Aiden Pond. We'll try to get all these and without missing anybody. Ian Brooks, Colby Taylor, Thomas Allen, Jake Langston, Cody Long, Chase Hughes, Elias Watkins, Colby Kirkland out tonight injured, Connor McCoy, and Nick Millsaps, our 13 seniors. Yellow Jackets, first down and 10. And they roll to the right side. They have some new folks playing on offense, knocking it out of bounds over here. Good pass coverage over here on the sideline by Robert Green on the pass out of the hands of true freshman Logan Caldwell, number 2, now in at quarterback for Hayesville.
That was a good break by Robert on that ball. He had it. He had the best angle to get it, but it was just a little bit out of bounds, and doing a good job stepping in between the Jacket quarterback and receiver there to break that one up.
Now Hayesville will line up. Got trips over on the left side. One man wide to the right side. Again for freshman quarterback Logan Caldwell out of the shotgun. He's going to turn and fake the handoff and throw right down the middle, right in the hands. Just threaded the needle down inside the 40-yard line for a nice pass and catch and a first down for the Yellow Jackets. Coming up there, looks like Avery Leatherwood. Again, Frank's son, the tight end.
Lillard with the tackle for the Maroon Devils. He's in at safety along with Blankenship. But he came up and made a strong hit to bring Leatherwood down there. 2:22 and counting in this one. All the others in the conference have gone final at this point. And I would say that penalties have kept us from getting to the final at this point.
We're going to be finishing a little later as they run the option around the left side, and carrying it is William Wimpy now with 2 minutes to play. But yeah, Toby, you're right. So we'd like to remind our fans before we do wrap it up here tonight. Be sure to, I'm sure it's going to be on Facebook at some point if you want to follow Facebook, but if you want to try to find out as soon as you can, just go to NCHSAA, and that's the website for the North Carolina High School Athletic Association, and just keep an eye on that, and they'll have those brackets up at some point, probably early afternoon. Normally it's 2 or 3 o'clock or so. Maybe it'll be earlier, but we don't anticipate much. But John Dockery on the passing catch that time for the Yellow Jackets.
A little flare out of the backfield, misdirection. And Maroon Devils had it covered, but not enough to prevent the first down. So 1st and 10 for the Jackets here as time winds down, under 1:30 and still counting at this juncture. So hurry up offense by the Jackets trying to get something on the board.
Caldwell rolling to the left side. Can't find anybody open. He's going to have to run out of bounds. He's still tiptoeing down the sideline. He almost went out of bounds, but almost doesn't count as he got the first down inside the 15-yard line, and that stops the clock at 1:14 to play.
I think our guys became a little bit afraid to hit him on that sideline over there because every time that's happened, something weird has gone on with everybody.
Yeah, there's the officials have been very quick with the flag tonight.
Well, there's another first down. Out of bounds stops the clock at 1:14. So there's still time left here for this. Might add second unit Jacket offense against second unit Maroon Devil defense to put some points on the board here.
That's it. A lot of new faces in there getting some valuable playing time on Friday night. Rolling to the right side is going to be Caldwell. He's in trouble, though, and it's going to be sacked in the backfield for a big loss. Coming in there, big play, Chris Singley, number 31, along with 41, Trip Peterson.
Good sack on that play by Singley. He came on a hot blitz off of the corner. It looked like the opposite side, and the quarterback never really saw him.
Yeah, he came quickly. Also, when there was Bryn Jackson, number 60, a 220-pound junior, and clock running, 45 seconds and counting now. Jackets line him up. Again, the freshman quarterback, Logan Caldwell. Got a back right beside him. Turns, hands off to him. And the back goes right up the gut. And he's still running down inside the 10-yard line. Nice carry here with 32 seconds and counting. And fans, again, we appreciate everybody tuning in and listening in. And we'd like to remind you, as the clock is stopped with 27 seconds, from here on out, there will not be any video on our broadcast.
I think it's a timeout Swain on that one.
Yep, looks like they're going to. Hayesville called a timeout here.
Okay.
And again, this is kind of on the job training for a lot of these new faces out there.
Yeah, a lot of scrambling to get the right people in and to make sure everybody's gotten in the game and played a little bit. You've got the right people to defend whatever you think's coming your way. Cold night tonight. Both teams seem to respond okay to it. You can see the breath coming up from the Swain huddle and from the heat on their bodies.
And I tell you, the fans that came over there, they're here to the bitter end.
They certainly are, and the Maroon Devil Band is over there doing their thing again. It's always great to see them. They add so much atmosphere to the football environment and so much school spirit for our school and with the job that they do, and they just go everywhere. Doesn't matter. We were down in Georgia doing a game, and there they were.
There they were.
Who knew?
and that's you're right. It just adds a lot of fun to the game, and they are into it. They're still over there playing and dancing and having a good time here with still 27 seconds to play.
Probably trying to move around and stay warm.
That's it. Good point, Toby. I hadn't thought of that. Keeps that body heat up. Burns some calories. Here comes Caldwell throwing for the end zone. Got him out open. He's got a touchdown, Yellow Jackets. And again, that's Avery Leatherwood, number 40, the true freshman. Our good buddy Frank Leatherwood's son over here at Hayesville High School. And happy for him and his dad. That's something that's always good to see. So now the PAT is going to be lined up. And coming on is going to be Kylan Bunch to attempt the PAT for Hayesville with 22 seconds to play. And the kick is up. Did it angle in the left? Upright, it did. So now it's a 49-28 score with 22 seconds to go. We'll kick it one more time before we say goodnight here on a Friday. But, Toby, I think our Maroon Devils came out really in the first half and got hold of this game and really took control from that point.
Well, if you've got a checklist of things that we felt they needed to do coming into this ball game, you could pretty much just check off everything off of that list. To be honest with you, we said we needed line play and to see how that was going to respond, and it was a very positive fashion. Maroon Devils, to me, pretty much owned the line of scrimmage for the first three quarters of the ball game, and in terms of offensively, we said Damien had to have a big night. He did. Took a lot of that on himself. Good hard running by everybody involved. Running backs from the get-go have run hard.
They did.
All the way through this ball game. Yardage may not show it for them, but it was a good night for the running back crowd. And, Damien very effective through the air. 2 big passes to Donovan and Connor both.
Great catches.
And great catches on both of those. And good night for the Maroon Devils. I think they needed this to get themselves back into a position to make a run through these playoffs now as we get things started. And the third place finish, they'll have an 8-2 record to post for that, and we'll just see where that takes them.
Oh, no question about it. It's been a very good season. This time on the return, our Maroon Devils are going to hit a knee, and that's not a bad plan at all.
Yeah, I think you'll see that the rest of the way here. We'll probably take a snap, take a knee. That was Connor Hyde for that purpose, to catch the ball and take a knee.
Connor's a heady player. He knows what to do and when to do it.
And so now the Maroon Devils, Lillard probably takes one snap here in the victory formation, and with no timeouts left, that's going to do the game for the Jackets, who we wish all the best in the world next week as they begin the playoffs, hopefully with a home game.
Yeah.
That would be wonderful for them and Murphy, and I guess Murphy now rather than Robbinsville.
Yep.
To be at home. Robbinsville will get a bye.
And that is really sweet when you get a first-round bye. But, friends, that's going to wind it up. Again, we appreciate you listening in here. And don't forget now, we're not going to be having the luxury of video throughout the playoffs. That's just a state regulation. That's not our decision. But we will be providing audio every single Friday night. And, of course, Joe Holt will have his camera crew set up and filming. So you'll have an opportunity to buy that box set, if you will, of all the Maroon Devil games, including playoff games once the season is over. Toby, outstanding way to finish the season. And, hey, let's get ready for the playoffs.
Absolutely. Let's do it.
Hey, time will tell. Next Friday night, we're going to be somewhere. Be sure and check your sources tomorrow for those playoff brackets. So long, everybody. Our final 49-28 Maroon Devils win over Hayesville here on the final game of this 2019 regular season. Good night, everybody.
The Smoky Mountain Conference, one of North Carolina's oldest and most storied athletic conferences, producing champions on and off the playing field for decades. The Smoky Mountain Conference. Tradition lives here.
I'm Taylor Holt with the Maroon Devils Network. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. And if you enjoy our videos, please hit the notification bell down below so you can get a notification every time that we upload a video.